And welcome everybody to the 18th episode of the Boys in the Big Apple podcast. Tonight is a very special one. This is the first episode where we're actually doing a giveaway, at least on this channel and on the podcast as well. Multiple giveaways. 2 to 3 of them might be extended into next week. The only one that's not being extended is the New York Giants one. I'll quickly outline that first. We have other stuff to talk about as well, so it's not going to be totally surrounded around the giveaways. Appreciate all the new faces around tonight. I know a lot of people were interested in getting the tickets. I'll outline that pretty quickly before I give Sean his thoughts on everything in the sports world. Plus, he has a new background. He has converted to a Jets fan, and then and then you have Luca over here. He's moved to Staten Island. That's the real truth about it. So quickly, for anyone who doesn't know what I'm talking about, Giants most likely are not having fans at training camp. They're doing this FanFest thing. It came out on Monday. It was Eli's idea. And with that being said, they had huge glitches, huge problems with the website. And a lot of people couldn't get on, and then they put a cap on it. Some people got on, some people didn't. With that being said, a lot of people are searching for tickets right now, and I got at least 6 contestants waiting in the wings. Shout-outs to them. Hope you guys win tonight. Equally giving luck to all of you guys. And what was I going to say? I hope to get you guys something. If you don't win, I hope to get you guys something like a gift card or something like that, because it's bringing the Giants community together. It's about bringing the community together after a year that's like this. Obviously, Jonathan, your cousin, has something to say.
I heard. I talked to my father about that, so we're working that out right now, Johnny.
And that's pretty much what I have to say about the Giants stuff. Obviously, we got a lot of topics to talk about. Otherwise than that, Sean, move to Staten Island. Other stuff you want to talk about just to get off your chest, and then I'll give it to Luca.
All right. Well, it's official now. We're officially the Boys in the Big Apple. Now the name lives up to the hype. I'll explain the background a little bit. You see a lot of Jet stuff. This is my uncle's man cave. Lots of Jets, lots of Yankees. This is the best spot I could pick. So you guys get to see Jets on the Giants channel. So enjoy it, because now Luca can say it's a Jet takeover.
Yeah.
Anyway, the All-Star, you had the All-Star game yesterday, which I didn't get to see it, but I was able to listen to it on the radio, and it sounded like it was a really good game. Happy the AL won. Vladimir Guerrero Jr., he had that big home run, which Judge scored. Judge had a nice defensive play. Home run derby the other night. Laughing at Ohtani because, again, we don't buy into the Ohtani hype. How you doing, Potato?
That's the Potato, man.
Even though Pete Alonso won, which kind of sucked, but it is what it is. Main thing I'm looking forward to discussing later is the ending to that Astros-Yankees series and a preview of this weekend's series against the Red Sox, which kicks off tomorrow. 8 of the next 10 games are against Boston, so big stretch coming up.
The series starts tomorrow? I thought it started Friday.
No, it's a 4-game series. We're the only game tomorrow.
Of course.
And it's nationally televised. It's Thursday night. Thursday night baseball.
All the pressure's on.
Yeah. Thursday night baseball. Special primetime event.
Okay. Luca, what do you got to say?
Well, we're obviously going to talk about me and you, Alex, our trip in Cleveland and Canton, about what we're doing and whatnot, what we did and whatnot. We're obviously going to get into Sean's move and whatnot, but very disappointing end to the first half for the Yankees, which has been the loss on Sunday was a microcosm of what the Yankees did in the first half. It was a whole, in case nobody knows what microcosm is, it's like a symbol. It's like it's like the epitome, but I'm not going to get into that. Not my point. Can't wait for the giveaways tonight. I know I have some stuff to give away, like my Darnold jersey. I'll bring it out in a few minutes, and then the Jets ticket giveaways and the green and white scrimmage stuff.
Now, real quickly, I do want to go over just a few things. Are you giving away the training camp tickets today, or are you going to do it till next week?
training camp. If people actually are contesting for it today, if we have enough people, we can give it away today.
Because I mean, it's not necessarily a rush, and
Right.
plus we have the
It's not
tickets
till
today.
okay, for the tickets for Jets training camp, it's August 4th and August 9th, 10 a.m. Atlantic Health Jets Training Center in Florham Park, New Jersey.
And then
These
you
are all
obviously,
free, by the way.
yeah, I mean, of course. And then obviously you got the green and white scrimmage. If you didn't mention it already, the three of us are planning on going possibly, but I bought some extra. Luca didn't buy the tickets. I bought the tickets this morning. I got up at 10 a.m. I said, you know what, we got to give away some of these. And I said, you know what, let me get some tickets just in case, we maybe go to training camp one day or something like that. And, I know there's a cap definitely on training camp tickets. So I said, you know what, for anyone who doesn't, doesn't get the tickets in time, we'll be free to give them away. So real quickly, I just do want to go over some comments.
I just want to say, okay. I just want to say, I know I won't be at the Giants event, but if we all end up, I'm considering going to the Jets green and white game with Alex and Luke. I would say, if you see us walking around, don't hesitate to come up to us, and we're happy to meet anybody.
Yeah, we
don't hesitate. We're nice people outside this place. I know we make fun of each other a lot, but we no. If you guys see us walking around, watching, don't be afraid. Don't be. We don't bite. Don't be afraid to come up to us if you want to meet us. That's another thing that I like about this is at least we get a chance to meet some of our viewers. So that's why I said it. Even if you don't win the tickets and you're already going, just don't hesitate to find us. We'll be there. We'll be there, and we're happy to meet anybody.
And we are in the talks.
You know what we got to do? We got to do like John Boy. We got to get, or even Pinstripe Strong. We got to get our own merch going soon.
That sounds like a good idea. Hopefully our merch will go better than the All-Star jerseys. Jesus Christ, that was bad.
Those are terrible.
And then Luca has his mic fall over as he's fixing it right now. Real quickly, I know Luca probably has some comments about this. Shout out to Alexander Karam in the chat. He is one of the contestants. Shout out to Gabriel Mendez. I don't think I've seen you on the channel, or at least in the view in the comments before. Shout out to AJ Marshall. I'll go over the comments right now. Luca unmuted his mic. So Potato says, how do you feel about USA national team losing because the refs don't call flops? I heard about that. Luca, what do you instantly think?
Well, the USA national team yesterday beat Argentina by a score of 108-80. I'm not going into the full basketball realm right now, but it shows you how spoiled the NBA stars really are, and that the FIBA officials know how to officiate a game.
And we think they should probably acquire some of the FIBA officials.
Yeah, I would seriously do that. They don't give free foul calls.
Okay. So, obviously, one of the contestants, let's go Yankees. Unfortunately, they're not. And I have something to discuss after this because it has to deal with some sort of giveaway. AJ Marshall says, big 4-game series tomorrow. Hopefully, the Yankees win. Yes, of course. Never rooting against my team. Then I think that's a big congrats symbol. Potato says, question, how long does it take to get a visa? That's an interesting question.
We do not have the answer to.
Yes. We make that. I would love.
We're not doing that.
I would love to see how many people buy this thing.
Oh God, that's like going to Boston wearing Yankee stuff. That will just equal disaster.
Anyway, I'm not sure about this one, Potato, but I know you're probably asking because you would want to come over and maybe see something Giants or Jets, not Jets, but Giants related, whatever. Gabriel Mendez says, what do you guys think about the Xavier Howard rumors? Jonathan says cereal before milk. Obviously, that's the original way to do it, but the better way to do it is milk before cereal. We'll talk about that at another time. Xavier Howard, it's been like, in my opinion, or at least from what I've been seeing the last 2 years, it's on and off with the Xavier Howard rumors. He did well last year. He was definitely up there with some of the best corners in the league, James Bradbury being one of them. I got to root on myself as a Giants fan. A couple other corners in the league that were good as well. I think Kendall Fuller classified to be one of the better corners in the league. But if the Miami Dolphins elect to trade him, I don't see why they wouldn't get any great value there. He's a top corner. I think he wants an extension. I'm not going to totally lay into that situation, but
I'll give you some notes on it.
I'll
give you some notes on the Xavier Howard stuff. So it was obviously mentioned that he remains unhappy with his contract, as Mike Silver noted. A few notes: he has 4 years left on his contract, which now ranks 6th among cornerbacks in annual AAV, which is, I think, how much you're paid per year. Miami has gotten trade calls on him dating back to last season. Howard has switched agents since signing his last deal. I'm guessing he wants more money.
Oh, I mean, listen, he's
That's
definitely
usually the case.
Yeah, how much is he getting paid a year again?
I will check that out right now.
Yeah. What was I going to say? Some more comments. Giants record predictions. I'm thinking anywhere between 8 to 10 wins.
I don't remember what I had him at.
Yeah, of course, Sean has him at 8-9 winning the division. The way he is. I don't know what Luca has. I have them at, I believe, 10 wins, 7 losses right now. I think that's an appropriate estimate. Later tonight, though, we will talk about 3 NFL teams. As I said, 8-9 winning the division. I was watching actually this cool channel that doesn't get a lot of views, but they have a lot of subscribers. It's called Football Game Plan. They have the Giants being a good team, but in 3rd place in their division. And I'm like,
the division's going to be good. I don't know how good it's going to be.
Well, I mean, I just don't think they would be 3rd place either.
I got one thing I want to ask you guys. I texted you about it earlier, and I was talking to my friend about it. He's a big Eagles fan. He said there's these rumors that are going around that Philly is the best possible spot or most set up to get Deshaun Watson. And even he said, we're in a rebuild right now. We don't need Watson. We got Hurts. It sounds like a clickbait kind of story, but it also sounds like something Howie Roseman would do.
The NFL offseason is a great time to just try to get clicks, right?
Right.
But what was I going to say? I have 10 wins. I'll talk about that topic in just a second. I'm just going through the comments. Potato says, one day, yes, but currently unemployed, so I can't afford it, but hopefully soon. He also says, I'm very happy the person, which was the Eagles of Europe, lost to Euro in the soccer tournament. Basically, he was talking about England. If anyone doesn't know, they lost to Italy. Places in Brooklyn, especially near me, they had a big celebration. One of my friends was actually hanging off of the stop sign, which was
it was a crosswalk sign, Alex.
Crosswalk sign. Well, okay.
It's a sign.
Yeah. Potato says, I feel Deshaun Watson wants to win, which is not the Eagles at the moment. Yeah, I definitely agree. I don't think they're in the position.
The same situation.
I mean, honestly, what? Okay, so you have a couple of teams that are supposedly wanting QBs. Let's say for some reason Denver was in the conversation. I don't think they are because they just traded for Bridgewater, huge contract. That seems like a position better than the Eagles because the Eagles only have legitimate 2 targets. Yeah, well, I mean, Miles Sanders, he's decent. You have Devonta Smith, and who else do you have? Zach Ertz, who wants to get the hell out of there? I mean, honestly, what's the point of having a decent, and they weren't decent at all last year because of all the injuries. If you have a decent offensive line, which I don't think they will, if you have a decent offensive line, what's the point of having a decent offensive line if you don't have any good weapons? And their defense is going to be horrible. My personal opinion, I just don't think they're going to be a good team. I think they're going to be at the bottom of the division. So I honestly don't see a reason as to why Deshaun Watson would be on the move to Philly. Maybe he would go somewhere else. I don't know which team would actually do a quarterback this late. Aaron, I even said it before, Aaron Rodgers rumors, I don't know what people are still talking about them. Don't think it's going to happen. It's way too late, and it's every single year we're talking about this. Deshaun Watson, I think he just will sit out, honestly. That might be better for him. I don't even know what this new coaching staff with David Culley is going to be like. And it's not even a decent team. They're going to be legit within the top 5 of the draft picks. If they have it. I mean, I don't even know if they traded it away yet. Maybe Bill O'Brien did some magic. Real quickly, what was I going to say real quickly? Potato says, I would understand the Broncos because they are a good QB from a deep postseason run. That I would agree with. I just don't think that they should have traded for Bridgewater because he's a backup. He's a bridge QB. You only trade for a bridge QB in sort of that situation if you actually have a quarterback you like, and Drew Lock they don't like. So, I mean, I don't necessarily understand that philosophy. We'll see what happens. John Elway is not the general manager anymore. It's somebody else within the front office.
George Patton.
And then Potato also said, what is your opinion on Joe Judge, quote, securing his job because he was praised by Sean McVay? I need to watch the rest of that podcast. If anyone doesn't know, Joe Judge was on Sean McVay's podcast with Peter Schrager, which I never heard about until now. And I'm like, the first 30 minutes was actually interesting. And he actually made a quote that I kind of think is funny. I never got a job that I applied for. I thought it was an interesting quote. My personal opinion there. Gabriel Mendez said they started their rebuilding a wide receiver instead of rebuilding their O-line. Wide receiver for the Eagles really hasn't been. No, it's not been good. I mean, Devonta Smith, yeah, sure, and then obviously the Eagle fans, we got Devonta Smith, we got this, that, and the other thing. Well, we got an extra draft pick and another wide receiver towards the end of the round, and we also, we got future stuff. See, I don't know what they have, but the problem is they're not in a position to win. And trust me, the first 5 to 6 weeks when the Eagles are going to literally be trash, my personal opinion, this probably share the opinion.
The beginning of their schedule really is not favorable in any sort of way.
Yeah. When they're going to be trash, Philly fans will be like, I'll fire Sirianni. Meanwhile, some of the players apparently in the locker room don't even trust them.
They start out in Atlanta, then they got to welcome the Niners, who's got a scary good defense. Then they got to go to Dallas. Then they got to welcome Kansas City, at Carolina, versus Tampa Bay. Their schedule's not favorable in any sort of way whatsoever.
What can I say? Didn't they select wide receiver in like 4 drafts now? True story. This is all truth, Potato. They selected 3 wide receivers last year and 1 this year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand, that's desperation right
Remember, Jalen Reagor over Justin Jefferson.
Right.
And J.J. Arcega-Whiteside over players, I think, like A.J. Brown,
DK
Metcalf.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's basically...
How Howie Roseman hasn't been fired yet is ridiculous.
Because he probably has, something bad on somebody in the front office. Kind of like Tyler Wade on the Yankees.
Yeah.
As everybody has been claiming. Real quickly, though, who's echoing? I think that's you, Luca. Just lower your volume just a pitch. I do hear a little bit of an echo.
I do, too.
Yeah, that's... Or you can put in earbuds. Either or is, good. I know he's fixing his stuff.
Is it better now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so... this freaking phone. I hate interruptions. Give me 1 second, guys.
Of course, there's always got to be a phone ringing, right, Sean?
Always something. We all know how that goes. I also saw, might as well add on to the Deshaun Watson thing real quick while we're at it. I saw a tweet, I think it was from Adam Schefter, saying that he does not expect Watson to play in 2021. Do you agree? Because I do.
I see him not playing for the Texans. That might be possible as well. I mean, I've heard the allegations. I'm not going to sit here and actually be a detective in it, and I'm not going to say, he's right, he's wrong, whatever. I'm not going to go into that. Obviously, the situation ain't great.
Not good at all.
But I think at this point, he's going to sit out the season. I think at this point, that's where we're at.
Ain't that a little dangerous to do?
Because of fines, yes. But honestly...
No, not even talking about the fines point. You're talking about the freaking your body. Look at Le'Veon Bell.
Stay in football. Shape. Unless he's hitting the gym every day, putting in the work, proving he still wants to play. That's the only way you can sit out a whole year. If he's just going to sit and be like Le'Veon Bell and go to parties and strip clubs and all that, you're not gonna come back in good shape. So if Deshaun Watson really cares about his career but doesn't want to play for the Texans, the best thing he could do is just keep himself in shape, ready to go, get a personal trainer, that can help you. That's the best thing he can do. So, yeah, the year not on the field isn't good for you, but at the same time, you got to factor in how much does he want this? Like, how much does he still want to play? That's kind of how he will prove it, is if he doesn't want to play for the Texans, which I fully understand because of the situation they're in right now.
Right.
That's the best thing you can do. And then just hold, that's where preseason will come into play the following year with wherever he is. You're going to need that. I don't think preseason's useless. We've had this talk.
We've kind of gone over that about 100 times.
Guys,
we'll say it 101 times, though. So somebody tweeted on Twitter. I have actually my other laptop beside me so I can read different stuff. Somebody tweeted that Bobby Abreu is a Hall of Famer. I've heard his name on the ballot. Gary Sheffield's son says, let's get Gary Sheffield in first. I got to review both. Obviously, both former Yankees. But that's something I got to review. I can't necessarily say. I'm not going to be like that one writer that said Derek Jeter's not a Hall of Famer. Remember that scandal? Yeah. That was a whole shit show. Alex says, what do the Yankees have to do in the second half to become a playoff team? Real quickly before we get to that, Deshaun says Deshaun says potato. Jesus Christ, I can't talk tonight. Staten says Deshaun is going to become poor from all the fines. Well, not necessarily, because the Texans, I'm pretty sure they paid him a big contract when O'Brien was still around. So, if honestly, like, I don't know how many endorsements he lost, but it's quite possible he could still stand upright with all this Texans, paying him from that big contract. What did the Yankees need to do in the second half to become a better team and a better, be a playoff team? After this, I do want to get in.
Go ahead.
Real quickly, after this, I do want to get into my Cleveland trip a little bit. I have some storytelling to do, and that will probably lead us right into the giveaway. With that being said, we can talk about this Yankee stuff.
Talking about the Yankee stuff, I want to get into some of these trade rumors that are coming out and get, pick your brains with that one. Real quick, I know you want to get into that. Play better baseball, yes. That's an obvious, but the Yankees can't even figure that out.
And for most of you that know me on the channel, whatever, I basically tweeted that most of the weekend I was in Lewisburg, Cleveland, Canton, and a lot of other places. So I was not going to be recording any videos, doing stuff like that. The only one I did probably was Monday, and that was a Pro Football Hall of Fame video. I like that video, guys. Go check that out. But I watched Yankee baseball in a limited capacity during the weekend.
Me too.
I did see parts of the Garrett Cole game. I saw parts of the last game. Shout outs to Tudo in the chat, as usual. Congrats on the Italian championship. Forza Italia, as they said. What was I going to say? So I saw limited parts, and when was the last game against the Mariners?
It was, I believe,
Wednesday afternoon.
Wednesday. That was Wednesday. Okay, so I just missed the Houston series then. With that being said, that last game, I don't know how you blow it. I can't necessarily blame Aaron Boone, but at the same time, you could say, oh, well, he should have brought it. I don't know what the argument is. No. Shout outs to another man, TD in the chat, the man with the great questions as usual.
All I'm going to say is, watching the Yankees all my years, I never had a team ruin a party I was at quite like the Yankees did. Because I wouldn't say you could kind of say it was a family reunion type of thing. It was more of a graduation celebration for me and my cousin Michael because he graduated 8th grade. He's going into high school. I obviously graduated high school. I start college next week. I never seen the life sucked out of a party the way ours was. Well, we didn't watch the game, but we had it on WFAN. We were listening to it as it was happening, and when they put it was 7-5, when they had 2 runners on, and I saw Altuve up, I said something bad's gonna happen. I can feel it. I just felt it, and I was right. This team, I don't know what it is when we troll. Like when Aaron Judge was going like this, it always backfires. It always backfires, and for whatever reason, we can win a series against Houston, and they still get the last laugh. I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense to me. Every time, I want I've seen this comment a lot. We want Houston in the playoffs. You want Houston in the playoffs, but A, we got to get there, which I'm not confident in this team at all. But B, they've had our number, cheating or not. This year they're proving that they did not need to cheat to win in 2017 or 19. They are proving that this year. How do you shut up the haters? You keep winning. Ask Tom Brady about that one. So Houston right now, I don't know what it is. We went 4-2 against them this year, and somehow they still end up with the last laugh. It's frustrating. It really is.
Real quickly before I let Luca go on a little bit about this, Shaz in the chat, and Potato also comments as well. T says he wants his Mets in the playoffs. Well, they lead the division right now, so I don't see why they would make it there.
I'd have more hope as a Mets fan, and they got a pretty crappy offense, and somehow they're still better.
Potato says I'm waiting to see how much England will get fined for the fans. I graduated uni, and TD says Rocker in the draft for us was a steal, in my opinion. I didn't watch much of the MLB draft. I did keep track of who the Yankees picked. I know the freaking Pirates. They passed on Jack Leiter, which is like, and then once again, I didn't pay attention to the whole draft. I heard that part, and then I also heard the part that the Angels had 20 draft picks, and all of them were pitchers.
Big news, actually, by the way, out of the Yankee farm system. Jason Dominguez got called up to the Tampa Tarpons, went 2 for 4 with a double. He got thrown out on the second hit. He tried to stretch a single into a double. He actually got thrown out. But he's 18, and mistakes are going to happen. But I don't know what he did. I can actually look and see what he had a game early. They have a doubleheader, the Tarpons do, and he's not in the game 2 lineup. But Jason Dominguez is making moves. He went 0 for 3 in the futures game, but again, he's 18. You can't be like, oh, one bad game, forget it. Even though Yankee fans,
it's the minor leagues. You don't expect much. 2 things though, real quickly. But I know I've been delaying Luca's speech a while. Let's talk about the Yankees giveaways. They're getting really desperate now with some of these emails. I've been constant every day.
Went 1 for 3. By the way, Dominguez went 1 for 3 today. The Tampa Tarpons are 41-19.
That's
hell.
Let me go to Tampa. Let me live there. With that, TD says, as a Mets fan, I just don't believe in Boone for you guys. I feel like the team makes boneheaded decisions and blows games under his guidance. The day where it was the midday game before the doubleheader, which was before July 4th, I was actually on Chris the Entertainer's stream, and he was talking about, like, I don't know why you guys let Boone go, this, that, and the other thing. And once again, I agree. And it just shows so desperately over the past couple of friggin', days, emails about, oh, this promo for the Yankees. I've never gotten so many promos in my life. Are you guys
not selling tickets, Alex? That's why they're doing this. They're not selling tickets.
I've gotten the same thing. I could look. Hold on.
When you start winning
right now, and I'll tell you exactly how many I got today.
I'm like, when you start winning, then you could bust me with all these.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them today from the Yankees. Tickets. more tickets,
I
draft
got one, which
picks.
was like you get a free hot dog and you get a free drink.
That's the latest email I got. It's freaking annoying because I'm waiting on an email from the college and I'm filled with Yankee stuff. Not that I don't like the Yankees, but
Should mark
kind
them
of
as spam. Friggin' that would be. Tudo says something is wrong with the YouTube live connection. AGP keeps on freezing and looping live chat. Anyone else having that problem?
I've been keeping an eye on the stream and I haven't seen any issues. Chat, let us know. I've been keeping an eye, and I'm in the basement, so.
Yeah, I was about to say if it keeps looping or something like that, guys, please let me know. I would want to fix it as soon as possible. I was looking at Instagram DMs because obviously I want to see anyone else who actually wants to be in the competition, the contest. Potato says it's fine. I was like, you know what? Okay, so this guy DM me. Of course, I'm not going to go with names. I'll shout out TD's comment afterwards. He just offered me tickets to go to the Falcons game, week 3. So, I'll obviously check that out. And he said he needs a person to go with, and I said, I didn't confirm that I was going, but if they're, and I'm not going to let somebody else pay for my ticket. I will pay for my ticket. I wouldn't want to do that to somebody.
We don't leech. Alex leeches, but me and Luca don't.
I know I don't leech. I do not leech. What was I going to say? TD says, I think the biggest crowd of the Yankees will have already happened. Mets-Yankees was the biggest, and it's going to kill the Yanks next Subway Series because the Mets are home. That is absolutely correct, and that is the 9/11 20th anniversary series.
That's a big series.
True facts, shout-outs to Joseph Balby in the chat. True facts, all of us were possibly thinking about going to one of those games, but we said
we're still working on that.
We're working on it, but I'm like, at the same time, the Yankees kind of suck.
And the tickets are not cheap. They're at least $200.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the weekend, you got to factor in, but
and it's I'm on a college budget. I can't be out here paying $200 tickets unless I'm making $30 an hour.
Yeah, so I would like to possibly. We'll talk about it obviously in the future. One thing, real quickly before I let Luca go, because I know we are counting down about 2-ish minutes till the giveaway. Luca, I know you said you wanted to do some stuff. Now I just forgot what I was going to say. We are also thinking of possibly going to the Jets-Giants preseason game. We'll talk about that a little bit after, but I do want to give Luca his floor for the next 2.5 minutes.
Well, I was going to offer my thoughts on the overall Yankee situation. As I said before, the last game against the Astros was a microcosm of what the Yankees season has been. My biggest worry, I know there's a lot of Yankee fans hype about this. I think the Yankees front office and the Yankee fans are creating their own false hope. Not saying you two, because exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
They're like, let's get Trevor Story. Let's get Joey Gallo. Let's get this. Let's get that.
It's impossible to solve this problem.
I'm not sure if you can solve the I'm not sure if you could solve the problem with one guy. It's going to take multiple players. We don't have a balanced roster. We don't have good players. We don't have a good manager. We do not have a good manager.
UT said it best. Aaron Boone couldn't manage a Johnny Rockets.
Real quickly,
and I'm telling you guys, I was listening to Don LaGreca and Peter Rosenberg the other day. I think it was like Monday or something. And he's like, I'm tired of hearing, it's not Boone's fault, whatever. The Red Sox have had the same roster for 2 straight years. Yet, they went from Ron Renicky to Alex Cora. Say what you want about Alex Cora and the whole cheating nonsense and the front office with the analytics and whatever. He's obviously making some sort of impact on that team that they are better than what they are.
I was listening to Moose and Maggie on, what was it? It was Monday. The Monday after the game. And someone calls in and said, after the collapse, they should have just scored more runs. They had 14 walks. Something like that. Cool, they have 14 walks. They scored 7 times. That doesn't excuse the fact that they couldn't they got, 1 out in that bottom of the ninth? What does offense have to do with blowing a 5-run lead? 5 or 6 run. I think it was 5 runs.
I mean, honestly, 7. Hold on a second. I'm sorry. 7 runs should be enough for you. If it was a 5-run lead, 7 runs should be enough to win a game. I'm sorry. 7 runs should be enough to win a game.
You could say all the missed opportunities, this and that, but Chad Green blew it himself.
Yeah. I agree 100%.
Real quickly, leading into it, TD, yes. Actually, you know what? Okay, so TD, I might give you the extra minute or two because you've been watching. I know that probably isn't fair to. Well, you know what? No, who cares? You're part of the channel. You come on here every time. So, basically, we could continue this conversation for the next 2 minutes. That's what I would like. When I would like you to get it done at least. But what you got to do. We'll talk about Joey Gallo trade rumors in maybe just a minute or so because I do want TD. TD, here's how you sign up. If you have Twitter or Instagram, whichever one, you don't have to pick both. You follow me. You tag 3 friends under my pinned tweet, which is the tweet that has the giveaway. I have video with instructions. Also, you have to subscribe to the channel, which I probably think you are, but I do need proof of it since I can't keep track of all the 218 subscribers. You screenshot that, you DM it to me, and
anyone who's not in the giveaway who wants to be in the giveaway. So this goes for everybody.
Yeah, and also you tell me how many tickets you want. So that is that's how that is going to be done. TD, tell me if you're interested. Obviously. Hold on.
How about we give everybody till about 8:50, 8:55, in case anybody didn't know about it.
Right.
Just in case.
Oh, never mind. So, are you interested, Didi?
Anybody else too? Just anybody.
Yeah, we're just scouting the platform. If not, we're gonna go right to the giveaway. I do have, and I'm not gonna cheat or anything. You know, I'm not the Boston Red Sox. I have a wheel of names tab open on my computer so I could, you know, you guys can see that I'm not rigging anything. I don't have Twitter Inside, got off that stuff a while ago, so I don't want to be unfair to anyone else. Well, I was gonna say yes, Alex is one of the contestants. What was I gonna say?
Would you guys like to hear some
do you still want to sign up though, TD?
You guys like to hear some stats on Joey Gallo and why we should not trade for him?
When we get to that conversation.
Yeah. Because we're kind of in a transition period right now. We still have yet to talk about Cleveland, so this tells me it's going to be a long stream, but I do like the long streams, not just, you know, when we're fucking rambling nonsense. So we have the wheel of names ready. Obviously, I just want to make sure that everybody is here. Here are the contestants. Here are their names because obviously they're going to be seeing them on the screen. As of right now, here are the contestants: Gabe, Alexis, Albert, Kiara, that NYG fan, and Alex. Those are the usernames. I'm sorry, I physically don't have the app. No problem. Just make sure. What was I going to say? I think because I do want to give my number out. You know what? Whatever. Anyway, shout out to Alexis. Damski, if I'm saying that correctly. If I'm saying it correctly, she is also one of the contestants. I do want to say real quickly before I share my screen, I do want to give you guys something. You know, if you don't win, I want to give you guys something in terms of a participation trophy, maybe a gift card or something. So please keep following, subscribing, stuff like that. I do want to give back to you guys, even if you don't win, because you guys made this happen. And we are all proud to kind of do this. So I will add TD's name to the list of contestants. There's about 7 contestants. So we will just don't worry about me. It's okay next time. Okay, so that will be 6 contestants then. Shout out to TD though. He always brings up great questions. Open. Okay, now we're gonna do this. Okay. So of course, what was I gonna say?
I'm gonna get my Darnold jersey.
Okay. Real quickly, Apple has to screw with me. I'm on my laptop, so this is, and if it doesn't, then we can just, you guys can believe me. I'm not going to rig this for anybody. Okay. So
trust me, we're not scamming you. We actually have them. Don't worry.
Let's see. Later. Okay. So anyway, let's see if I could do this. I can. At least I think so. Okay. So let's get this started. Wheel of names real quickly before, and it's going to have some corny friggin' stuff at the end in terms of like sound. You guys might hear it. So real quickly, I do want to give a shout out to all of the contestants in this contest. You guys made it happen. Gabe, Alexis, Albert, Kiara, that NYG fan, and Alex. That is not me, of course. I would not want to do this. With that being said, are we ready to spin the wheel?
I guess so.
Luca? Is he alive?
His mic is
I'm
on.
going to unmute my mic. Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, let's do this. Oof. Congrats to Gabe. You have won 4 tickets to Giants FanFest. I don't know if you're watching right now, Gabe. I do have you on Twitter, but congrats, man. Congrats, Gabe. You have won 4 tickets to Giants FanFest. Once I get the tickets and the QR code, this is that NYG fan on Twitter. Just to clarify, I don't know who Gabe is in one of the in the chat, but for the 5 other people,
Gabriel Mendez.
I'm dead fucking serious about this. For the 5 other people, you keep following, you keep subscribing. Within the next 2 weeks, I'm gonna try to get you guys something. It's not no lies here. You know,
Something
Sean,
from all
as much as these two like to fuck with me, I want to get you guys something because you guys made that happen. With that being said, Gabe, congratulations. Once again, I want to go over it real quick before we go back into our regular stuff. Shouts to Alexis, Albert, Kiara, that NYG fan, and Alex. I want to get you guys something. I'll figure out something in the next 2 weeks. NY Edits is Albert, by the way. Once again, congrats to the contestants. Congrats to Gabe. Once again, I cannot say this enough. Keep subscribing, keep liking, keep following. I'm going to try to get some for the 5 of you in the next few weeks.
If you guys keep coming.
I'm going to say right now that I'm going to get you guys $25 gift cards, just like Visa or something like that. I can afford it, and it's just a small token of my appreciation as well as these guys as well. Yeah. So once again, I was
going to say, Alex, like to all the contestants,
has to interrupt me.
I mean, me and Sean run the show, so to all the contestants out there, like, don't watch us just for the giveaway. Watch us for our content. Give your thoughts. Give your opinions.
Yeah,
we stay on here. We like to have you guys on.
Over in this summer, we're going to try to do something for you guys from the 3 of us. I know Alex is offering to do this, so this is from Alex, but we're gonna try. We're gonna try to plan something for you guys. You know, because we appreciate all you. Without this, without you guys, none of this is possible. So
yeah, and I think I'm echoing again. Is that me? Or that might be because I might need to plug in earbuds. That might be. I mean, I'll plug in earbuds either way. But once again, I will say this 1,000 times. You know, a lot of new people, and what I constantly did, and I'm not making this about myself. It's about giving back to the Giants community. The past 2 days, under that, the New York Giants thing, when they commented, basically they had a cap. When they basically had a cap of, you know, how many tickets they were going to sell. A lot of people commenting. I couldn't get on the site. I kept reposting my tweet because I wanted to give back to the people. So, you know, just because you didn't win the tickets doesn't mean you're not getting something. So for all of you out there that participated in the contest, shout outs to you guys. You will be getting something within the next, hopefully, 3 weeks. I'm definitely going to go out and try to get something small for all of you guys. So from the 3 of us, for myself especially, thank you very much. And keep watching because the show does not end right here. We're not a 45-minute program. But once again, don't take me as the person that just says, oh, well, screw all the people that, you know, didn't win. Hey, you guys, as some sort of stranger that's not one of the popular podcasts, you know, it's not one of the popular podcasts, you know, you guys offered, you know, you made this giveaway possible. Let me stop rambling. Yeah. You made the giveaway possible, and I cannot thank you guys enough. Real quick, I do want to get to some comments because I was rambling for a little while there. Congrats, Gabe. times like this, I regret deleting Instagram. Well, Twitter obviously is not the better one to have, so I think Instagram is the better option.
Yeah.
At least in my opinion, because Twitter is like, ugh.
Twitter's toxic.
Yeah, congrats, Gabe. Shouts to Albert in the chat. Shouts to Tudo. Let's see. Shouts to Valix Prime Sports. Getting some free entertainment. That's enough for me. Lols.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Tay says, "Do I have to stay awake till 3 a.m. to attend the giveaway?" Actually, well, I mean, realistically, you didn't have to be on the. What was I going to say? You didn't really have to be on the stream. I would have let you know through Twitter.
Yeah.
I want to get these two guys started right now on Yankee topics because I do want to notify the people that aren't here right now that I will be trying to give them something that they didn't win. And Gabe, I'm obviously going to give you proof that I have a confirmation email from FIVO saying you have this many tickets for FanFest. So you guys can basically start the conversation about the Yankees and the trade deadline and all that stuff. I'm going to start tweeting and stuff like that.
All right, so the Yankees trade deadline is approaching. Talks are coming. It's rumor season now. It's officially trade rumor season. The deadline is coming up. The biggest name there's two big names that have been coming out the most since the All-Star game because Jeff Passan had a couple of interesting comments. Joey Gallo, which per sources the Yankees are extremely interested in, and Trevor Story, who is being talked, who has been said that will be traded, in the coming weeks, whether it's to the Yankees or wherever. So I'll start with Joey Gallo. Yankee fans want him badly. How are we feeling about this one?
Well, I got some stats to bring up, and you guys are not going to like this whatsoever. First of all, Joey Gallo's hitting 239. I'm a batting average guy. I like power, but I also like batting average. He's hitting 239, which is not great. Average shows consistency.
239 is not good at all. Let's not sugarcoat it.
And let's hear this. So I got some advanced stats for you because it's not like advanced stats, but you guys know what I'm talking about. With runners in scoring position, you ready to hear this?
No.
He's hitting 206.
Yeah, let's get Joey Gallo. Let's get him. He sounds like
hold on a second. Do fans not look into these type of stats? Do they not look into the Yankees' problems right now with hitting and not hitting with runners in scoring position? Oh, listen to this. With the bases loaded, you want to know what Joey Gallo's hitting?
I'm going to take a guess and say it's below 250.
You're right at the mark, Sean. 250. He's 1 for 4. And this guy's a power guy. And the Yankees fans are all hyping him up. I'm not saying he's a bad player, but with the issues we have on this team right now, he is not a fit. He is not a fit.
Is that Yankee fans need to do some more research before they go out and say, "Oh, let's get Joey Gallo," because again, we're old school. We think batting average matters. That's bottom line. Batting average is important, and these fans are all worried about the home run ball. It's frustrating. It really is. And that this is what we've come to where we're accepting a 239 hitter.
For the sake of home run,
if you said that to someone back in I'll even go back to the early 2000s. If you say, "Oh, let's go get a 239 hitter," they're going to look at you like, "Are you stupid? Are you stupid?"
Oh, I let Alex go because I was going to make some other points.
Okay. So we do have something, a development, and I didn't even realize this until. So, Gabe, if you're still here, man, if you only want, because I realized in the DMs as I was trying to send him the proof, there is, he wanted 2 originally, and obviously the giveaway is 4. Do you still want 2, or you want to accept the whole 4? Because the way I was thinking of doing it, if you don't want all of the 4, I could give 2 tickets away and maybe do a retry.
I like that idea.
Yeah.
So, Gabe, if you're still here, let me know. If not, I'm going to DM you and obviously ask. What was I going to say? With that being said, you guys can continue your conversation. I'll keep looking through the comments.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
Josie McFly over on Twitter was debating with this guy. Alex can back me up on this because he brought it to my attention. Oh, Joey Gallo's got the lowest strikeout rate of his career. He strikes out 30% of the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, come
just
on.
because he doesn't strike out doesn't mean he can't. Hang on, I'll read your comment for you, Alex. No, I'll take the 2 and let other people get a chance.
That's very generous.
Very generous of you, Gabe.
We'll give everybody.
I'll give everybody a couple of minutes of time. Because I do want to reach out to the people and say,
Alex,
listen,
I go to Twitter and tell people we're doing another one.
Yeah.
9:30.
9:30 sounds good. So you know we could do a discussion, all that stuff. But once again, shout outs to you guys. Shouts to Gabe, because Gabe could have said, I'll take all 4. Gabe said, no, I'll just take 2. So, and there's a lot of people that commented and DM me that said I'm only taking 2. So, with that being said, shouts to Gabe. Shouts to Evan in the chat as well. You guys can continue conversation. Giveaway. Next giveaway is at 9:30. 2 tickets to FanFest.
Evan, if you did not hear prior, we're doing a giveaway to Giants Camp. If you are interested, go to Twitter and see what Alex has in store.
Yes. So back to our Joey Gallo discussion. As I brought up, he strikes out 30% of the time. That used to strike out like 48% of the time, 49% of the time, 45% of the time.
That's not good.
30% is still not good. We strike out a lot still.
That's like failing a test where you get like a 30% and then the next one you get a 45. Does that make you any better?
No, you're still down there. And
you still fail.
And I'm going to give you some base running scenarios. So with the bases empty, he has 12 home runs and 12 RBIs. 12 home runs, 12 RBIs. Obviously, that because you're hitting with the bases empty, you're going to hit solo home runs. He struck out 63 times with the bases empty. He's hitting 242 with the bases empty. And he's walked 28 times. He has an on-base percentage of 360 with the bases empty. Now with runners on, it doesn't really say how many runners or whatever. With runners on, he's hitting 230. He's hitting 230. He has 12 home runs and 40 RBIs in that situation. He actually has more walks when it comes to runners on, 44 walks to 45 strikeouts, 6 stolen bases. And as I obviously mentioned, bases loaded, he's hitting 250. Listen to this. With runners in scoring position with 2 outs, one of the more crucial situations, he's hitting 192.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yankees don't want to do the homework. They just see a big name and they're like, oh, get him. He's going to solve all our problems, our pitching problems, our hitting problems. He's going to solve all of them if we trade for him.
Nobody on with 1 or 2 outs. He's hitting 256, which isn't bad, right? Men on with 2 outs, wherever. Like if there's a run on first, 2 outs, run on second, whatever. He's hitting 149 in that situation.
Okay, Luca. So New York edits, comments, and says we need a left-handed hitter. Our lineup is all righties.
I get that point, and I agree with you 100%. I agree with you 100%. But what the Yankees are struggling with now, with failing with runners in scoring position, just hitting solo home runs, he does not fit the modem that he's going to fix that. I mean, I like Joey Gallo as a power hitter, but he's not going to fix our issues by the way he's batting. To me, some fans just I understand what you're saying. NY Edits 99, and I agree. He's a lefty hitter. We need lefty hitters. We need better lefty hitters. But he's not going to solve our problems by the way he's hitting right now. So I don't know. And you know what's the better thing? Let's look up his ground ball rate. I know that's it's a little too geeky. I'm going to call it too geeky. But the Yankees struggle with getting to double plays. Let's see what's his percent on double plays? What's his percent in grounding into an out? All right. So player value batting, no. Batting ratios. Here we go. Strikeouts 30.8% of the time. Obviously, I mentioned that. walks. He's at the. I'm actually kind of surprised with this stat. This is the highest walk rate of his career, and that's 20.5%. Okay, so now we delve into ground balls, ground ball double plays, whatever. This season, his ground ball percentage is 33.3%, which is the second highest in his career. Is that a little concerning? I'm gonna ask you guys. I definitely would say so. Alex, you got a point?
Problem.
Oh, he kicked himself.
Walk off the stream.
He kicked himself. He went to reach for something and he kicked himself. I don't know what happened.
All right. So
basically, what we're saying is Gallo's not the answer.
No, he's not. And an update on the Jets giveaways. I have two guys in the giveaways who won't be present on the stream because one is dealing with a work emergency with somebody's health at risk, and somebody else is at work, but they will still be in the contest. I told them so. But anyway, back to Joey Gallo. Let me see.
I say let's give some people more time. So you want to do that next week?
I mean, I could ask. I could definitely ask. I mean, it's not mandatory that I'm going to hand this out this week, as Alex has said how many times.
The only thing I would give away this week is the Darnold jersey.
Yeah.
Do a wheel thing like we just did. So far, Luca, that's you with the echo.
Okay, I'll lower my volume.
You could either do that or plug in headphones. Those are just two suggestions. What was I going to say? In terms of the giveaway, real quickly, it's a Jets jersey, TD. Real quickly, I have two people as of right now that have reconfirmed they do want to re-enter the contest to get those 2 tickets. So good for them. If Albert is still in the chat, please reconfirm. Same with Alex as well. I know he was in the chat. I already got Alexis who wanted to rejoin the contest. And then I think I'm waiting on 1 or 2 more people. So,
what's up, Sox Arizona?
Shout out to Sox Arizona. I'm not ready for the series. Same thing with that. I need Insta, right? Somehow, TD, if you want to join the contest, Luca, you mind lowering that just a bit? Because I do still hear kind of an echo.
All right. You want me to put in headphones?
If it's possible, sure.
Just give me a second.
Do you want me to leave the stream for a moment to put out an ad for the tickets, or do you think you got it? You think you're good?
I think I'm good. TD. See, okay, so need Insta.
Did you do just Twitter? I would say maybe get more people if you go to Facebook and Instagram.
Well, I think Luca advertised on Facebook. I advertise on Twitter. Okay, so Albert's gonna come in again. What's the contest and how do we enter? I'll explain that in just a second. I advertised via Twitter and Instagram, and I did get some Instagram, mostly Twitter though, because that's where I mostly put, hey, contest. Sox Arizona, the contest is so far, well, in the beginning we had 4 tickets to give away for FanFest. The first person, which was Gabe, only wanted 2 of them, so we're doing a second entry at 9:30 p.m. Obviously, FanFest, they may not have training camp, which we'll talk about probably in a little bit.
Alex, can you hear me?
Yeah, the mic sounds fine.
A lot better.
Yeah.
All right. I'm sorry to interrupt, Alex, but one of the guys, 2 of the contestants are at work, but one's going to tune in.
Well, I mean, you don't really need, in my personal opinion, this is what I told other people as well, you don't need to tune in. You just need to, be a part of the contest and qualify. And then you could notify them, hey, listen, you won the contest. That we could probably do it like 10:30, in my opinion.
I was going to say better doing that. I say maybe try to get more people. Try to do, because Luca knows all the Jets pages. He can let him take over that contest. Let him run that one so that he can, try to get more people. Because 2 people, it's only a 50-50 chance, and it depends. How many are we giving out?
In the Darnold contest?
Well, 4 people. Well, let me see, because I have the contestants on my Mac.
If it's 4, then I could. We can evaluate 2. I got 4. A little bit. Okay, 4. Giants Fan Fest. That is correct. Sox Arizona. TD. Okay. So you said you don't have any social media. Do you have? I hate to ask this, but do you have Facebook or Messenger by any chance? That's the one thing I will ask because
how many tickets did you order in total? Because remember, I might be able to go with you.
I did a total of what did I do a total of? I did a total of I can't even think. 6.
6? Okay.
And I just sold 2, so do the math.
I can't do the Giants thing, but I know I might be able to get
Jets the stuff we're gonna focus on next week.
Okay, there we go.
Sure, that's better. Real quick update before I know Luca wanted to say something. We will be moving to a different day, I think next week, right?
Yes, sucks.
We will be
Arizona.
Sean, we will be moving. Okay, so we will be moving to a different day next week. It's not going to be Monday, Wednesday. It's going to be towards the weekend. I know a lot of people probably off on the weekend, stuff like that. It creates for a better audience. We'll talk about that. We'll give you guys updates as usual. I unfortunately don't, but that's okay. I can let someone else. No worries. I haven't had Facebook in a long, long time. Haha. Will it be the same time?
Yeah, most likely. Unless I have issues with my work schedule, most likely it's going to be the same time. Yeah, because I know Alex said it. He struggles to get it started a little bit earlier. So
what do you mean by that?
We're gonna work that out this week. So once I know my work schedule, we will obviously update you as soon as possible.
Okay, so real quickly, I just want to go through my DMs. Okay, Gabe, obviously he won. Alex, so I got reconfirmations from Alexis, Albert. And then I think that's the only 2 who reconfirmed. I have not gotten responses from Kiara, that NYG fan, and someone else yet. Yep, exactly. Guys, if you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe, turn on the notification buttons. You can notify when live stream pops or video drops. I say that very quickly because I memorized it. Just like, there's some things you memorize when you're a kid or whatever. I happen to memorize the one thing. Like, I used to watch it more like a couple of months ago. I don't really now. And that thing is the Michael K show, and they have, what the usual phrase for Geico. And these 2 question why I just happen to remember the phrase.
I'm gonna provide something actually useful. Joseph, if you're interested and you have Twitter, we are doing a ticket giveaway to Giants FanFest. If you are interested, head to Twitter and follow Alex's directions there.
Well, I know Joe has Discord. I know he's in my server, so if he wanted to, he could contact me. I just want to make sure that people are just real quickly because I did. Okay, so why is this being weird? Okay, because what was I gonna say? You could theoretically wait. Sean just left, and now he's coming back. You could theoretically wait till next week for the other 2 tickets, just in case some people are in a different time zone. That is. Please don't wait until next week. So,
this is interesting.
I did this, Okay, so Alex will enter again, which is a good thing. So that's 3 out of the 5 people who did not win the first time. I need 2 other people's responses. I would like to get them tonight. What was I going to say? I'm just. I don't mean to be.
If you don't win the tickets, don't worry. We got other stuff planned for you guys. So
I mean, as I said, if you don't win, then likely I'm going to try to get gift cards for people, $25, maybe $50. Just as a small token of our thanks.
I got an idea. Let's rent Madison Square Garden so we can do a meet and greet.
We'll do our own little basketball game. I was working on my 3-point shot today.
Sure. Just give me 1 second. Once again, I hate to be, so zoned out, but I am texting somebody who actually is offering me tickets to the Falcons game.
TD asked if he can get the Discord link.
That, if I'm not mistaken, should be shout-outs to Potato Man from the Czech Republic, man. Thanks for tuning in. I know you're in a different time zone, so it's obviously
appreciate
difficult.
You coming on.
Is it in the description? Because if it's not, I will be glad to send it out, or I'll have one of these guys send it out.
Let's see.
The first.
Okay, there's Twitter, Instagram, podcast. No, there is no Discord.
Okay, there's no Discord. Okay, so I will be sending that link if anyone else. I'm from Scranton, PA, huge Giants fan. I hope to get these tickets. Never been to a game before. FanFest.
I
is
just
going to
moved
be
out of
fun.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah, he just moved out of
New York,
Pennsylvania.
the Jim Thorpe area.
Okay, I gotta Luca.
Alexis,
Do you mind
let me
sending
ask
the link in the chat?
Alexis, let me ask you this: you go to a lot of railroad
sure.
games? If you were a Yankees fan, or even just a baseball fan in general.
Yeah, we're originally how we met each other. We weren't in New York. We were in Pennsylvania, of course. We were in Albrightsville / Jim Thorpe, and then that's where we met each other. And then years later, obviously, three of us are in New York. It's like 20 minutes away from me, so that's a good location then.
Yeah,
you know whether you're a fan of the Iron Pigs, the Rail Riders, and yes, my boyfriend used to. That's pretty impressive job.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Yeah, we go to a lot of games. So
I know somebody. Well, at least I met somebody at one of my baseball practices, and he was like really intelligent in terms of the Yankees because we were talking about Esteban Florial and all that stuff. He said he was going to take an internship with the Rail Riders this summer. I'm 15 minutes away from the Iron Pigs. Another one lives in Pennsylvania. Wow, a lot of PA people tonight. Too bad Sean's not up there.
Now I feel left out moving to New York.
Yeah, you picked the wrong time.
Now I feel a little left out leaving Pennsylvania.
I just sent it in if you guys could see.
For some reason, I can't.
I don't see anything.
Alex lives in Alex lives in PA too. Oh my god!
If you guys don't mind, if you don't want to, you don't have to. But what part of PA are you guys in? Even if you just gave the county.
Yeah.
I'm going to college, so I don't think I can't do that. I can't do that.
You didn't?
But yeah.
Okay. For some reason, I haven't gotten the link. I think TD's still here. Yeah, I haven't seen it. I don't know. Maybe somehow you got banned from the channel or something.
Dixon City. I know that area.
Easton.
Okay. I usually drive through Easton. We usually drive through Easton when we go to New York because we take a lot of back roads.
Easton. No offense to whoever. I think Alex lives in Easton.
No, NY.
That's Albert. That's Albert. Dixon City. Yeah, I'm still here. So for anyone at all, but I know TD said he wanted to join in. TD, what I'll need from you is just friend me on Discord and send me a screenshot that you have subscribed to the channel. That's what I'll need. And then we could go from there. Obviously, 9:17, 9:30. Unfortunately, two people have not responded to me yet, so we might delay that. I do want to get it tonight. My boyfriend owns a farm in Bangor. If you know where that is, it's near Easton. I think I've heard of it.
I'm usually around Bangor a lot because my dad's in a bowling league not too far from there, and that's not too far from one of my favorite restaurants called it's a sports bar called the Scorecard. I took both these guys there once, so I know that area a little bit.
If anyone hasn't followed me on Twitter, and obviously we were talking about sports bars, I paid a lot of homage to sports bars over the weekend because some of you don't know, this past weekend took a trip to Cleveland, Canton, and past Lewisburg and Clearfield along the way. So there was this sports bar, and Sean calls me a clown for it when I think it was funny. A lot of people actually liked and retweeted my tweet that had it on it. I went to a sports bar in Clearfield, which was 2 hours away from Pittsburgh. And basically they had, for some reason, I don't know why, they had a whiteboard with dry eraser markers. The link isn't working. Oh boy. Maybe my computer's a virus or something. But what was I going to say? Yeah, they had a dry eraser board in the bathroom. And I'm like, okay, then I'm going to do something. Because the sports bar was good. It was decked out in Steelers gear. So I said, you know what? I'm going to piss a lot of people off. So I don't know. They post on Facebook. So hopefully maybe they just friggin' decide. Maybe they posted me on friggin' whoever did this, whatever. But I put Eli greater than Big Ben, Steelers not greater than the Giants, but Giants greater than the Steelers. And obviously, Sean, we all have a group chat. He created
Last year's result tells you otherwise, and we were on stream for that. If you guys want to watch our live reaction to the Steeler Giant
we
game
were on
last,
Zoom.
go Steelers, guys! Again, if you're wondering about the background, I just moved in, and my uncle's a huge Jets fan. So,
Caramel Corn Shop in downtown Easton is the best homemade candy in PA.
Never been, but I've heard of it. I'm
going to tell obviously the truth here. What was I going to say? I'm going to tell the truth here about Easton, the way I thought of it as a kid, because obviously two places I frequently went to, Easton and Stroudsburg. Both are, full of mall in Stroudsburg. Easton doesn't really have a mall, or if it does, then I'm obviously missing something. But there's a lot of stores.
You might be thinking there's the mall in Phillipsburg. That's in Jersey, obviously, but that's next town over. I don't know if that's what you're thinking of.
Then they don't have a mall. So
I don't know.
I
could be wrong.
No offense, but I always viewed Easton as a ripoff of Stroudsburg. And then I talked to, I think, a family member about that viewpoint, and then
high school football people wound up.
Yeah, and then I talked to a family member about that viewpoint. He's like, "Yeah, but that's kind of the other way around, though." Yeah, but I mean,
I actually did many years ago when I was a little, I was about 10 years old. I want to say I actually did Halloween over there in Easton because we had family over there, so we went over for Halloween. That was a lot of fun over there, I will say.
Yeah. So we first made a stop in Clearfield. We stayed the night at a Hampton Inn. It was only 3 floors, but obviously it was fine. It was raining over there, so obviously, that was a delight, I guess. Next morning, we ate at something called the Dutch Pantry. It's kind of a small restaurant. Then we headed to Cleveland. Every day was at least a 4-hour trip. So that was tough on me.
Alex, why don't you tell them the best part about it? What you told me yesterday. Coming home?
Oh,
where did you have
the longest part of the trip was not going to Cleveland. It was not going to Canton. It was actually coming back in New York. The Staten Island Expressway was flooded with construction and unnecessary nonsense. And and then Verrazano Bridge, you have a middle lane for some reason. You have construction, but there's no people working.
Yeah, that's how you can tell my presence is being felt. I'm officially haunting you guys now from the next borough over.
And something Sean told me, I think that your dad said, Sean, that he's felt the Verrazano Bridge shake.
Oh, yeah. So he used to work in Brooklyn for private sanitation. And when there's videos out there, trust me, you can go to YouTube anywhere, find windy days, the Verrazano will shake. There's even times where they will close the bridge if it's too windy because it shakes like crazy. So my father said on multiple occasions coming home, he's sitting in traffic and you could feel that thing moving, which if I felt that, I might pass out. Thank God I don't drive.
Well, I was looking, because, it was like a 30-minute delay. And I was looking on my phone, like, you know what? Let me go ahead and just research this. Apparently, the chairman of the MTA or the NYC Department of Transportation said it's normal for it to shake.
Yeah, it's kind of
not normal, but it's supposed to shake.
Yeah, it's built like. I'm no expert on any of this, but I know it's kind of built like that. I guess to keep it from falling apart. I'm no expert on this, but I know it's built that way intentionally.
Interestingly enough, you and Entertainer should do a collab. I did a collab with Entertainer.
That was the very first episode.
First episode of this podcast, and very first episode of this podcast. It was him and Cop Hizzle, which was a very fun night. And even afterwards, we had a whole hour discussion just talking about YouTube, the 5 of us. And all of us remember that because we were talking about a certain podcast, I'm not mentioning names, that kind of flipped Luca the bird and made fun of him. And then we talked about it, and they're like, that's like the YouTube experience, blah, blah, blah. We had a whole personal conversation. I thought it was I thought it was a pretty nice conversation. Obviously, that was off air, so we didn't record it. And then back in December or January, I had him on the Big Blue in the Bronx podcast, which is right now not going, but I might get it off like once in a while once training camp starts and stuff like that. I got to feature Pizzle again. Well, it was fun. It was fun having them both on. Every time we bring on a guest, it's always fun. Also, something to know.
If we do, it'll probably be a little bit closer to football season. I don't know if we want to do it in the off season.
Yeah, we do have a list of people we want to bring on for football season because there's a lot of good content creators out there. About Pizzle, I think he might. I know a lot of content creators are going. I think he hinted at going to FanFest. I think you look at it. I mean, I know you don't have Twitter, TD, but I think he hinted at it. I know a lot of people are going, and I'm going to meet a lot of people. I'm excited to meet a lot of people in that aspect. I think I'm actually, honestly, I might put this to like 9:35, but if I don't get an answer till then I think I'm just going to count them. Does that sound good?
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, fair enough. Second. Yeah. Was it hard? I apologize once again. Someone's offering me tickets for the Falcons game. So, and if I could,
you feel special.
You know what, Sean? If you don't like it, go complain.
No, I'll just go to I'll go to a Steeler game instead.
Yeah, you're gonna drive what, 8 hours
from here? Yeah,
you could always fly.
I don't know if they fly.
Who wants to spend on airfare?
What's up? How's it going? Good.
All right, so Sean is talking to a family member at the moment, but we could always just generally talking stuff like that. Obviously, Sean with the Jets background, he's converted himself. Luca, good job. And it's funny because Sean was talking about this, I believe, a podcast or 2 podcasts ago, how he tried converting Luca to a Steeler fan about 2 years ago. Is that correct?
Yes. Well, no, I thought it was last year.
Which, if it was last year, it was last year.
No, it was the year before.
So it's 2019. Sean, what's all that garbage? I mean, Jet stuff in the back, TD with the jokes. He is in his family member's man cave. And it just so happens to have a lot of Steeler stuff, Jet stuff. I'm losing my mind tonight.
A lot of Yankees, a little bit of Nets and Islanders. But a lot of Yankees and a lot of Jets. Mostly Jets.
This thing keeps unplugging, and I'm getting really irritated. Just give me 1 second.
Good job, Alex. Mr. Host is having problems here.
This is why we run the show.
You don't run the show, though. You don't.
Yeah. You're the one struggling.
When are we going to expand our little discussion on like MLB trade deadline targets for the Yankees and what they could do? Could we do it now?
Still not working. Cop Pizzle and Bobby don't like each other. Oh, Evan, that's quite obvious.
Let's wait until after we do the second giveaway.
All right.
He says get rid of everything except the Nets. Oh, not my house. I can't.
Which are you talking about? Bobby Woodruff, TD. You're talking about Bobby Woodruff. Okay, for some, I don't like Apple right now. Let's just say that. I don't like Apple right now. I don't like seeing myself on I can't even talk. Thank you, Apple. I don't not like seeing myself. Yeah, Bobby Woodruff, the man who changes the conversation like I change underwear. Let me exit out of this again. Apple. That's all I'm gonna say, guys. Because it's either this camera freaking died out of nowhere, or it's just I'm gonna put on my camera.
And I don't know where Luca went.
It's not all that different, but I just like this one more. I think it freaking died, honestly.
And good job,
I think
Mr.
the extension might have died, depending on my audio.
I'm back.
My audio died, of course. Give me 1 second,
Mr.
guys.
Coming not prepared.
Again, it's not my fault this shit dies on me.
You could have charged it prior. Just saying.
What specifically died?
The extension just dropped. And I'm using the Mac microphone right now, which is probably the worst quality ever. But let me replug everything.
You're fine with it.
All right, let me try this again. Try this one more time. Hey,
proceeds to break it.
I
mean, with what he's doing all night, so
what do you break?
that's what he's been doing so far tonight. Freaking maneuvering different stuff. I mean, we could be sitting here talking Yankees.
Okay, you want to get actually
coming up.
as I said, I would give it till 9:35 till the giveaway. Oh wait, I gotta give TD that link again.
Until we start, guys, questions for us about anything, sports related, whatever. Questions about everything.
I was gonna say A-Rod and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar at the finals game.
What's the score?
It is 18-14 Suns.
Seems like it, TD. Seems like it. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Alex says hi, Sean, and Alexis says Bucks or Suns. I think we can all agree on the Suns.
I'm taking the Suns at 6.
Real quickly,
Suns at 5.
Before we get into that stuff, TD, if that link doesn't work, are you comfortable with putting your Discord username in? That's what I will say, because that's, I once again, I'm not trying to be a pain in the ass, but even though Sean would beg to differ, at least.
Alex, when he's a pain in the ass, he's just his normal self. This is his normal self. And
Sean's not?
I never said I wasn't a pain in the ass.
Well, so the next giveaway will be at 9:35. We talk a little bit about real quickly though, I do want to get into a little thing. I know I've been postponing this Yankee topic for a while now, but I do want to go over just a tiny pinch of the trip. Okay, so obviously the thing is not working and I got to copy this. It does take a little bit of time. I'll copy it probably when I'm doing the giveaway. But you know what? That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, never be like this, guys. Never be like this. Oh, so you are in the
yeah, he's in the Discord.
Yeah, okay.
Nice job, Mr. Host.
Once again, I apologize. TD, I sent you a friend request. Once you get a chance, accept it and just show me proof that you've subscribed and you'll enter the contest. That's going on in about 3.5 minutes. So real quickly, just to recap my Cleveland/Canton trip, whatever. Get to Cleveland. Hotel's really nice. A couple of blocks down from Progressive Field. Go see Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I personally give it a 3.5 to 4. I thought there was a lot of stuff missing because that's the music I listen to. Same with the three of us, except Sean listens to the death metal, as Luca kind of describes it as. Yeah, Sean trying to make fun of me here, and it's not working. What was I going to say? To go along with that, afterwards we ate at this thing outside of the place. It was like a pulled pork bar. It was like basically a barbecue bar, pulled pork for like $14, and they didn't even put barbecue sauce on it.
I agree, NY Edits.
Yeah,
and they need to sweep Philly. Don't care what anyone says. Need to sweep Philly. So,
Wednesday, August 11th, 6 p.m. So if you can go, obviously, just let me know. If you can't go, then obviously we'll still do the spin at 9:35. But what was I going to say? So, and obviously it was all cashless, and my dad only had cash on him, so I had to pay, even though he got me back. And
Alex actually paid for something. Wow, that's surprising.
Sean and his stupid commentary. Let me tell you something.
I'm just stating fact.
But with that being said, we did that. Then we went back to hotel. Then we went to this nice German restaurant where actually people were drinking, having fun, stuff like that. Something I didn't expect to see, but at the same time, it was just funny to watch. And also, even the waitresses and the waiters were just like German people in terms of like all the the outfits and stuff like that. That was fun. Cleveland's a nice city. Pro Football Hall of Fame, 2 thumbs up. I give it a 5 out of 5. Definitely worth it. If you guys haven't already watched that video that I recently released on my experience at Pro Football Hall of Fame, a lot of cool pictures, a lot of cool stuff. The one thing that they didn't show was the exhibit with Joe Namath, and that is basically set in a locker room. It's basically a theater, but they do have real jerseys in there, like Dan Marino and a couple others. And basically, he talks to you about the game of life and different stories from around the league. Warren Moon, a couple other guys. That was a fun exhibit. The instant replay exhibit was also fun, even though they can't even do that correctly now because the NFL referees suck. But there was a lot of cool stuff there. Then you head to Lewisburg, which kind of reminded me of Stroudsburg a little bit and a couple other things. Had a bad experience at Applebee's because we waited 15 minutes for a waiter or waitress. And, going away the week of the 8th. So no problem, TD. No good. Problem with that at all. So
you just enter. As long as you still enter, we can always give you something, even if it's not the game itself.
Yeah. What was I going to say? I also didn't get your friend request. I'll be sure to send it to you either way. With that being said, we waited 15 minutes for a waiter, waitress. Then my dad didn't get silverware with his freaking house salad, so he's supposed to eat it like a gorilla with his hands. And then freaking, Luca's steak comes back rare instead of medium rare, and then the rest. And then the manager gets nasty a little bit, and then she says that my dad was being rude, and then, we basically just walked out of there.
I would have.
I mean, after the horrible service.
Me and my mother, we went. I won't name the place because they got new ownership anyway, in Pennsylvania by where I worked. And we used to always go out a lot for breakfast. We went to a place by where I last worked. And it was busy. It was a busy morning because I think it was in the summer. Yeah, it was in the summer. And we sat down, and they just forgot about us. Never came to us to get us ask for drinks or nothing. We had people coming in after us. They were serving those people first. We're just sitting there like, what are we supposed? Did you forget about you? Eventually, my mother said, "Are you going to serve us or not? You served them first." She goes, "Oh, I'm sorry. We forgot you were here." So we just walked out. We just walked out, went to a place across the street. It was a little expensive, but much better.
Okay. So quickly, I just want to clarify something, and then we could get started. Okay. So if possible, this guy wanted. Okay. So let's, I could enter for the Darnold jersey for my dad or aunt who seemingly in pain and sadness choosing to be Jets fans. No offense, Luca. I honestly don't think it may or may not fit.
It's a small. Let's just mention that.
If you want to show it up,
even if you just display it,
Yeah, if you hang it up or something like that. Oh, I'm sorry, we forgot you were here.
You should do a giveaway for your Mark Sanchez jersey.
Yeah, it's gone.
If you still had it. If
you see it's a small. So you got the little tag on the bottom. If people can read that is a small.
Okay.
Fits me well.
With that being said, let's get into our second giveaway of the night. Who's ready for the spinning of the wheel? All right, so let me share my screen once again. Wheel of names. Obviously, it's going to have that corny, very corny sound to it. With that being said, contestants, once again, if you do not win, you're still going to get something, most likely a gift card for $25. Want to give back to the community that made this possible. With that being said, Alexis, Albert, Kiara, the NYG fan, and Alex as well. So are we ready to spin the wheel?
Yes, sir.
Let's go. All right, let's do this. Congrats to that NYG fan winning 2 tickets to FanFest August 11th at 6 p.m. I know he said if it was possible, he would want 4. He didn't directly respond to me, so if he's going to give it up and somehow, if he doesn't want to, if he doesn't want it all, I will let you guys know. I will let each and every individual person know, hey, listen, they didn't want the tickets, so we're going to do a redraw once again. But with that being said, congratulations to the other contestants. You will likely be receiving within the next 2 to 3 weeks a gift, appreciation, Do you know anyone else that is giving away tickets? If I'm not mistaken, I'm going to say NYG Pete on Twitter is. I'm going to take a quick look right now. I know he was. Let's see. Push comes to shove. 2 weeks until. Okay. Let's see. To give away a block, a special reward. You get to be Fanimal Group. Okay, so NYG underscore Pete is giving away tickets. If I'm not mistaken, he didn't actually give it away yet. So there is, another outlet for anyone who wants to go ahead and, get tickets. Once again, it doesn't mean you totally lose anything, because I will try working on, what was I going to say? $25 gift cards for each of the participants that did not win. So congrats to you all. Keep watching. Obviously, we still got a lot of stuff to cover here on the Boys in the Big Apple podcast, and that is a token of our faith. And if you did not win, I still hope to see you there at Giants FanFest, hopefully at a game this season.
Alex, I got a Brooklyn update for you. So if you didn't know, the Santa Rosalia Feast is August 18th through the 29th.
Okay, well, obviously, that's something to go to. Real quickly. Okay. Let me just real quickly. Okay. You won the final. Once again, this is me being, kind of off the page.
Yeah, Alex, you should let us have the floor while you're doing your stuff.
Yeah, well, I never said you couldn't have the floor now, did I?
All right. So do you want me and Sean to delve into our discussion about Trevor's story?
You can delve into the discussion about trade deadline, and I'll join. So go ahead, guys.
Right, so Alex, you never gave your input on the Joey Gallo thing. You were about to.
But that, obviously, I back up Luca's stats. I back up his opinion. I think Yankee fans at this point just want, even with the Derek Dietrich thing, and he's lesser of a hitter, quantity. They want quantity over quality.
TD has an interesting question. What's more likely, a Mets World Series or a Giants Super Bowl?
See, here's the thing. You have a lot of teams. I mean, the Red Sox, they're a threat. Rays, I think, they're second place, so they're a threat. Central, I think you could beat the White Sox, because we just blew right past them. The West, the Astros, depending on what they do in the playoffs.
The A's
as well. You look at, obviously, your own division. I'm not going to say anything about that. Central, I think you could blow by, and then the West, it's like the Dodgers and the Giants,
and the Padres.
I would honestly have to say, just because the Giants, we don't know what we're getting out of Daniel Jones yet. I'm going to say Mets World Series is more likely, as much as I don't like to admit it.
Luca?
Mets World Series, because might be the higher option.
I'm going to have to agree with you. Now, that doesn't mean the Giants don't make the playoffs, of course, but I'm going to have to agree with you. Once again, just real quickly before I...
Similar to that, what's more likely, Yankee postseason or Giant postseason, as of right now?
Giant postseason, definitely.
Giant postseason. I mean, all the idiots on Twitter be like, "Oh, you're giving up on your team." I'm not giving up on my team. I'm just stating my opinion.
Yeah, well, Yankees got to get over.
I'm not Luca here, who roots for the Red Sox against the Cardinals of the 2013 World Series.
Hey, we never talk about that.
We just did.
Yankee fans just want a big name, even though it's probably not going to help their team too much with his key stat line. Exactly. I agree with you 1,000%.
It's not just
a hot name. He's a power hitter, and he's a hot name. He's a lefty. That's why the Yankee fans want him. They don't even look, as me and Sean went over, they don't look closely at the stats that really matter.
They look at the analytics before looking at the basic shit, which is basically
on my other computer.
Which is basically like Cop Pizzle said. It's skipping K through 8 and going directly to high school. You have to get the basic shit down, but a lot of these geeks out here and these idiots are saying, "Oh, well, and let me make another point after it. They want quantity over quality. That's not how it works. I'd rather have 3 good right-handed hitters, 4 good right-handed hitters, and a righty-batched lineup than maybe one good lefty, like a lefty lineup that consists of 5. Francisco Lindor, cough, cough.
I mean, and another thing to add, Joey Gallo is another home run or nothing guy. How many guys do we have that
exactly
that stature?
Gary Payne, Giancarlo Stanton, and Judge is going to need a paycheck sometime soon. And Voit, who really hasn't done anything since come off the IL. And another thing as well.
Better.
And another thing as well, I'm not ripping the guy, but Josie McFly was stating in that argument, the lowest walk rate of his lowest strikeout rate of his career. Yeah. Let's also mention, for examples, I'm not saying this is real. Eduardo Nunez, 206 was the highest batting average of his career. That's why we should trade for him. Just because they're making a potential milestone to certain people in terms of lowest strikeout rate in their careers, doesn't mean it's going to work for another team. I'm sorry, but no to Joey Gallo. I'm not even on the train to go ahead and trade for somebody at the deadline. If it's going to be anybody, I want it to be Adam Frazier, not Trevor Story, and not Joey Gallo. But once again,
I can already got the stats as well, Adam Frazier, if you want.
Then I'll go ahead.
But we already got a second baseman. That's not our issue. We need outfield depth.
Yeah.
Frazier's also an outfielder, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
Adam Frazier's an outfielder. Okay.
Not his primary position, so you just got to question long-term stability there.
Now I got the real deep analytics, Alex. I'm on Baseball Savage. I'm on Baseball Savant.mlb.com on Joey Gallo. There's like meatball percentage, meatball swing percentage, whiff percentage.
No, you tell me you tell me there's a meatball percentage.
I want to know batting average, on base percentage, home runs, RBIs, and a discussion. And how often does he strike out?
Meatball percentage. Meatball. I'm sorry, I didn't know that was a thing. Meatball percentage.
Well, here's
PD says basically Alex is saying Joey Gallo more like Joey Gallo. No.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
all right. So
I like that.
Another advanced stat, his whiff percentage is 38.3%. That is not the greatest.
I don't look at whiff
his
percentage.
Chase rate.
It sounds like a stat made up by a little kid.
Whiff rate or whiff percentage sounds like a stat in a wiffle ball.
Exactly.
His chase rate is also 19%.
It doesn't. Whether you strike, okay, Luca. And also, I don't want any more of my brain cells killed.
All right, and he also struggles against the off speed and the breaking balls.
What is he? Pedro Serrano?
No, dude, I got the advanced metrics right here.
You just literally said he struggles against the off speed.
He does struggle against the off speed.
What is he, Pedro Serrano?
Yes, off speed pitches. No, Alex, Pedro Serrano couldn't hit curveballs nor off speed. Joey Gallo
off speed though.
Oh, no, it's not breaking balls and off. According to this,
just saying.
According to this right here, I know it's a little bright for everybody's eyes. There's a difference between a breaking ball, which is
how is he against the breaking balls then?
Okay, breaking balls. He's hitting 241.
That's still not great.
And the off speed, like the changeups, the sliders, whatever, he's hitting 138.
Really? One set. Hold up.
He's hitting 138. So I don't understand. How are the Yankee fans? They're so delved into these stupid analytics that they're not doing the damn research. They're relying off these geeks.
They're into. They just want the big names. I don't think that Yankee fans are worried about the analytics. They're worried about the name and if they can hit home runs. They're not looking into this. They're just like, okay, I see a big name and I see he hits a lot of home runs. Bam, let's get him.
And he's a lefty hitter. That's what
I would rather have. I've seen this on so many Yankee broadcasts, not necessarily this year, but in the past. I would rather have a hitter who's batting .345 with 2 home runs and a lot of RBIs than a guy who's batting .239 with 35 homers or whatever. I'm just saying I'd rather have a guy who drives in a lot of runs via a base hit than only a home run hitter.
And real quickly, I'm going to get to this comment and then I'll mention something else. Jason Solo says, I think you actually were on the Hub stream last night when I was on. So shouts to you, man. I think Max Kepler would be good on the Yankees. Not going to save, turn around, carry the team. But I think he'd be a positive contributor, good approach at bat, will work walks, good attitude, plays hard. I might be the only one, but I am. And then obviously,
yeah, I was gonna say,
TD
Luca,
mentions Pete Alonso.
All
Luca,
right,
take a look at some of his basic
All right,
stats.
so-
No meatball percentage. Don't.
Yeah,
don't,
we're
don't.
gonna look at the regular stats. Okay, so Max Kepler this season, he is hitting 222.
Mm-hmm.
He's hitting 10 home runs, 35 RBIs. He has an on-base percentage of 313, so he gets on base. He struck out. He's walked half the times he struck out. He's walked 25 times. He struck out 50 times. So I like that he can draw the walk. Total base is 91, which is higher than last season. I like that. In terms of ground ball percentage, he is hitting at a ground ball percentage of 36%, and he hits the ball to center field. He hits the ball to center field at a percentage of 55.3%. So,
CD always giving us the laughs. Real quick before Luca goes back
I
on
like
his stuff. Rob S says, I think Adam Frazier would be a good fit. I do think if the Yankees are going to go after somebody at the deadline, it should be him. Luca, you keep going.
yeah, I was going to say Max Kepler. I like the idea that he gets on base, but the average does not show consistency. That's just me. That's me personally.
Remember when everybody, and once again, I'm not trying to hate on everything the Yankees do because that's not me. But remember when everybody was literally saying, "Oh, Tim LaCastro, what a great trade."
Yeah. Although he's made some positive. He's done some positive things. He's done he's
He
got
said some good things. What are you, Aaron Boone? I saw some good things.
I've seen some good things so far. So we're gonna win the World Series. You
guys are gonna like Adam Frazier's stats. All right. So first of all, do you guys want to hear Trevor's story first, or do you want to hear Adam Frazier first?
I like
Which
Adam
one?
Frazier, so.
Yeah, that's more realistic.
All right, Adam Frazier. Here we go. Second baseman and outfielder for the Pirates this season. I think he was an All-Star, right? So
Yeah.
It was his first year as an All-Star. He's hitting 330. That's excellent.
Mm-hmm.
But this is where the
Yankees have.
You cannot look the other way to this guy, in my opinion. But the Yankees might because he doesn't hit home runs. 4 home runs, 29 RBIs.
He's not coming to the Yankees. Don't get your hopes up. Not coming to the Yankees.
Yeah,
I'm serious. He's not gonna come. That's really good, and I like that. If he produces in the outfield, he's perfect. But there's your problem. You don't hit homers. Yankees don't like guys like that. They want home runs.
Yeah, the analytics bugs, and I'm dead serious when I say this. The analytics bugs in the front office, they don't like Hoyjun Park.
He's literally said that.
330 something right now.
He's hitting like 340 actually.
I'll take a look right now.
But that's not good
enough.
All
right, so back to Adam Frazier's stats. I know it's not realistic because he doesn't hit home runs. He has. All right, so he struck out 42 times, but he's walked 33 times. So those walks and strikeouts are very close. He gets on base. His on-base percentage is 397. He stole, let's see.
Park is running 329.
Okay, that's something I can live with.
It's like 345 in his last however many games. So I know where you got that from. They're playing Boston's AAA team right now. I might actually put that on because they're in the doubleheader. They're only in the second inning. They had a doubleheader tonight, so I might actually.
In batting and batted ball percentage and ground balls, he's at the lowest ground ball rate of his entire career, dating back to 2016, 36.8%. He hits the ball to center field the most, 48.9%, but he also can pull the ball and hit the ball the opposite way pretty evenly. They're around 20, 25, 29, 30%. His strikeout rate, you guys want to hear this? You're going to love this. 10%.
Bam. I am now a believer.
This is the only guy I would want to go after for.
Walk percentage, 8.5%. He's the literal guy to go after. And here's some advanced stats, not the meatball stats, but against fastballs this season, he has a 10.3 whiff percentage, and he hits 340 against the fastball.
Yeah, he sounds perfect.
Double even.
You'll love this even more. Remember I told you guys that Who was it I was going over? It wasn't Kepler. Joey Gallo. He struggles against the off speed. But Adam Frazier loves the off speed. He's hitting 457 on off speed pitches.
And the thing is, with off speed, you don't need to hit a bomb. Let's look at this on a Yankee perspective, because the Yankees, home run or nothing. You get an off speeder, you don't need to hit a towering shot. You get just enough, and that's out.
Right.
My phone.
And all right, so let's what's his name? TD obviously wants a Suns update. They're down 35 to 33. Okay. But anyways, not the point. Extra base percentage on the fastball, 340. Extra base percentage on the breaking ball, 250. Extra base percentage on the off speed, 348. I mean, how is this guy not likable? I mean, how can you pass him up? Unless the Pirates are looking to build around him, which I don't think the Pirates are that good enough.
He's not a star now.
They're in a very, very long rebuild.
Alex Frazier's an all-star. You got to.
But that's not the guy. But I'm just saying. But he's not. I mean,
there's one thing
he's not the guy you build around.
If there's one thing you need to be concerned with Adam Frazier, it's one thing. The Pittsburgh market is not the New York market. How will he handle himself under the pressure of New York City and the New York media? That we do not know. I mean, we could look at where how he's played at Citi Field, at Dodger Stadium, or even at the All-Star game. But how will he handle the New York media? That is the only thing that will worry me, because Pittsburgh's market right now, nobody cares about them right now. The only reason people go to their games is to look at the stadium. Nobody goes there for the on-field product. I think we can all agree on that. So how will he handle playing in front of 40-something thousand? Okay, they're struggling to get fans right now. 20 to 40,000 people a night that actually care about what's happening on the field.
Can I say something?
Go ahead.
No.
So we were. This is a true story, by the way. We were leaving Clearfield to go to Cleveland, and we were on the road. Obviously, to TD's comment, yeah, I didn't get that one either. Why didn't you pick Jack Leiter? That be? Well, because you traded all your pitchers away. I mean, literally. But I was literally looking up. I was looking through Pirates attendance. They get 26% of their capacity.
Yeah, it's like they still have COVID restrictions,
right?
Which is something I don't get.
That are usually there are away fans. Like if they're playing, the Dodgers, most of the fans are Dodger fans.
And to me, Sean, you brought up the point about how he's going to handle New York. To me, I think his performance flies under the radar enough that he might not even have expectations.
Right.
The Pittsburgh Pirates are the type of team to inquire about N'Keal Harry. I don't even know why anybody would want to inquire about N'Keal Harry. That's freaking, they have that saying that says, another man's trash is another man's treasure. That's kind of the saying. But for why, and I just literally thought of this in my head. Why do I feel like the Texans would go after N'Keal Harry? I just have that feeling. I'm not even joking. And definitely we're going to talk about a little later on in the show, whenever it is, 3 teams we're not buying on.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that will definitely be a part of the discussion. What was I going to say?
I do have Steelers news I'd like to bring up. Not really news, but something cool I want to talk about.
We'll obviously get to that. We'll make that a part of the conversation. Once Luca's done getting to the friggin' what do you call it?
Deadline candidates.
The deadline candidates. I think we should also preview who we could trade, though.
Yeah, that's a part of the discussion. All right, so next player, Texans are going to trade Watson for N'Keal Harry. They'd be that organization. They get nothing back, just like the Rockets got nothing back for James Harden, literally. But again, not the point. The next player that I'm going to look into, just give me a sec, is Colorado Rockies shortstop Trevor Story.
Yeah. TD, I will later. It makes me cry. I liked him.
Now you have Derek Watt.
I still
right,
like
so-
Rosie Knicks had more of an impact. He actually they threw a touchdown to him. You remember that game against the Ravens? And he laid someone out in that game. That's my favorite game with him.
I forget right now, but doesn't mean
It was
didn't
the
happen.
big Le'Veon Bell game in 2017 when they were down by 9 with like 3 minutes to go, and they still won because of Boswell's toe.
All right, so getting into the next player, we got Trevor Story, shortstop from the Colorado Rockies. The Rockies probably would sell. Buster Olney reported during the home run derby that he's either likely to end up on the Mets or the Yankees by the end of the month. So,
Why the Mets? They got.
That's a good question.
you would have to ask any Mets fan. I'm not sure any Mets fan really wants Story.
TD.
They have Lindor.
Yeah, TD, you're a Mets fan. Why would the Mets get Trevor Story? I find that weird.
I don't think that makes any sense, though. I don't think it makes any sense. He's only a shortstop. But anyways, Trevor Story for the New York Yankees. So this year, he's actually injured, right, Alex? You said so?
Last time I checked, he was. If he wasn't, then he just came off.
All right, anyway. So, Trevor Story this season is hitting .249. That's
I hate to interrupt. If Scherzer becomes available at the deadline, there becomes bidding war for him. Who are your minor league guys you'd be willing to trade and some untouchables? We'll talk about that when we're done talking about the candidates. I need to see what Scherzer's doing other than giving up a home run to a former Yankees minor league pitcher. So
I like Scherzer, but we're getting Severino back, so that's
whenever that is
in our
Right.
rotation.
Anyway, so Trevor Story this year is hitting around he's hitting 249. That's somewhat where I want a hitter to hit. To 249, 250, maybe higher. Anyways,
My Mendoza line is 250. I think Alex is.
I mean, it's
What I
close
said.
enough, Sean. But anyway, he's hitting 11 home runs, 42 RBIs. He's also having an on-base percentage of .323. Now, he has struck out 20. He's actually struck out 72 times opposed to walking 29 times. He's grounded into a total of 3 double plays this season, just 3. That's compare that to the Yankees hitters. And yeah, I was trying to make a joke, but not the point. His ground ball rate is at the highest of his career, 36.4%. However, he does not ground into a lot of double plays, as you saw. Whereas I told you, his hard hit ball rate is 39.6%, and he's not an opposite field hitter, and he often puts the ball into center field, having a hit percentage into center field around 54.4%. So, what are your guys' overall thoughts? I mean, I have some advanced stats here. Against the fastball, he is hitting .262. Against the breaking ball, he's hitting .222. And against off-speed pitches, he's hitting .270. To me, Trevor Story is like, I mean, you know what? If the Rockies aren't going to extend him, so you might as well go into a bidding war for him in the offseason. But you're going to have to, you would absolutely have to move Gleyber Torres to get him. You're not moving somebody else.
Nope.
You're not in that position, honestly. Like, it's not like, how many years ago we had Gleyber playing second, LeMahieu's there and Rougned Odor is there.
Gleyber Torres to me is. I'm not comparing him to Gary Sanchez because he ain't that bad, but he's one of them guys that I think they're going to be very stubborn with, and they're not going to want to get rid of Gleyber because they're worried that he will go somewhere else and succeed. Just like with Sanchez, when everybody wanted Sanchez traded.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, highly appreciated. I don't think the Yankees are going to give up on Gleyber that fast. Like I said, it reminds me a lot of Gary Sanchez, who is struggling, by the way, but no Yankee fan wants to talk about that right now. No, Gleyber Torres is one of them guys I don't think is going anywhere. My opinion.
I mean, you also got Garrett Cole and John. I'm not saying, what if the Yankees have to go over the luxury tax to sign a Trevor Story, to sign a Corey Seager?
To answer TD's questions, they're going to be buyers. Hal Steinbrenner did a Zoom call not too long ago saying that he's willing to go above the luxury tax to get them the guys that they need, if worthy enough to make this team better. They're not good sellers.
You can have fans with false hope And once again, I hate to call it that as a Yankee fan because I am a true Yankee fan. I know a lot of Yankees more than some of these people on the internet. But with that being said, you could have fans with false hope, as we could say it. But when you have the organization buying into it, then it's going to, my personal opinion, backfire in a different way. Because you take a look at a lot of the words that Hal Steinbrenner said in his press conference. Basically said it's all on the players, it's not on the coaching. Okay, so if you get the players at the deadline and the team doesn't go anywhere, maybe they go to the playoffs and they don't do enough. Maybe they get eliminated, either in a wild card round or they get eliminated in the ALDS once again. If that happens, who do you blame now that you had all the players now? Do you blame Boone? Do you not bring him back? I think they're bringing him back.
You know what? I got to bring up a very interesting point.
I think buying into this, I think just years and years of buying into this philosophy, this whole crap, I think it's going to, my personal opinion, backfire a little bit and we could see some, struggles.
I was going to bring up a point. What if, what would be what would piss off the fans like us very much so? If the Yankees traded for like a Joey Gallo or a Trevor Story and gave up like, say, Gleyber Torres or something, or traded for an impending free agent, and they did not make the playoffs at all. Let's just say you go out and get Trevor Story for Gleyber Torres. What if you miss the playoffs and then you lose him in free agency? Would that wait?
That's you know what? I don't want to compare.
I'm scared of that false hope because Boomer and Gio said, I think this morning, that these next 10 games for the Yankees are like make or break, whether they should sell or buy at the deadline. Personally, regardless, I think the Yankees are going to buy, and they're going to create that false hope that, they're contenders. They still can contend for the division. They can still contend for the playoffs, whatever. They're not going to sell off any assets. Who are you selling? Are you going to sell Aroldis Chapman? You're going to sell Garrett Cole, Giancarlo Stanton? Or are you going to sell Luke Voit? You're going to sell Giovanni Urshela?
Not happening.
And it's going to be weird. And I'll talk about this in just a second. TD says, would you guys say this is make or break year for Boone, though? I know he's relatively new, but I mean, these struggles have been very apparent compared to projections earlier in the season.
Two ways I say that.
If we were looking at realistically and properly, my personal opinion, yes. But I don't think it's him because Hal Steinbrenner literally said that it is not his fault that he's doing the good job. No, I don't think that's happening, but you know what? I guess I'm not a manager or general manager for a reason.
It should be a make or break year for Boone. The problem is whoever they bring in is just going to be another analytical puppet. So whether Boone goes or not, it's not going to make a difference. Everybody wants Buck Showalter. They're not going to get him. I would love to have Buck Showalter, but the problem is he will defy analytics, and the team will not do that. They don't care if it's Game 7 of the World Series or Game 1 of spring training. It's analytics or nothing for this team. So regardless of who our next manager is, whether it's Boone, whether it's anybody else, they got to be an analytical puppet. If they could hire Alex today, and all Alex has to do is say, yes, I will do it this way because the analytics department tells me to. He's qualified. He's qualified. They could hire some moron off the street right now. As long as they say yes to the analytics people, bam, you got your next manager. As long as they don't defy those analytics. So as much as I want Boone gone for Buck Showalter, it's not happening. I'm sorry, it's not happening. Don't get your hopes up, Yankees fans. He's staying. I believe he is staying. Some think he will go, like they'll pull a Steelers way where they won't fire him. They'll just let his contract run out and get somebody else. But again, whether they do that or not, it don't matter. It really does not matter. All
it's
you
not
need
like
to
the Yankees are going to change their strategy. They're not going to change their philosophy. They're not going to change their analytics department. They're not going to fire analytical department. They're not going to get rid of cash. They're not going to change. And it's been pretty apparent that the Yankees are pretty complacent, including Hal Steinbrenner. I mean, TD says in the chat, this was a comment afterwards, Hal isn't going to blame Boone in a press conference as that would just make things worse. I mean, he's not going to pull a Steve Mills and Scott Perry. He's not going to pull the Steve Mills and Scott Perry, where he's going to call out Fizdale incoherently. But what if there's something going – fans might provide false hope and say, What if Hal is saying something behind closed doors? What if Cashman's saying something behind closed doors? And I'm sorry, I know that they're gonna be those geeks and the nerds and whoever saying, "Oh, this is not Boone's fault," whatever. If he's unfairly fired or rightfully so fired, the general manager, Don LaGreca made this point. The general manager or manager job, or both really, is a hire to get fired job. Yeah. This is not a job you have for life. Whether it's your fault or not. Look at Joe Girardi. We all believe that he was wrongfully fired. And I still think that's, apparent today. But he was fired. You're not going to have that job forever. And I hope that the Yankees don't it's like Cashman didn't get any blame, but whatever. But the Yankees got to stop being stubborn. And that's among many things.
Rob, to answer your comment, they don't have much defense, bad fundamentals, no small ball, no base running, no clutch hitting. Below average player development and chemistry seems to be off too. And I'll tell you exactly why. It ties right into what I just said about analytics. They're not, when spring training comes, it's the very first day of February, you got your spring training uni, you're ready to go. They're not teaching you how to field ground balls, how to bunt, how to hit. They're worried about launch angle. How are you going to have a good launch angle when you're swinging, when you're falling over when you're swinging? How are you going to get a good launch angle? You got to teach basic fundamentals before you can teach anything like that. It's the truth. We play high school. We all used to play high school baseball now. We understand. If you can't get the basic fundamentals down, you should be out the door or on the bench. If you can't get that down, then forget it. You don't belong on the team. But that's the problem. They're not worried about basic fundamentals. They're more worried about how far you're hitting it.
Jason Solo says halftime score, Suns Bucks tied 52. Rob's S says great points, great stream, guys. And he also said facts to your comments. TD says, speaking of the bench coach, Josh should win an award for the Mets after helping Alonso crush the home run derby. He also said that was a very interesting Alex impression in terms of the Boone and the qualifying.
It wasn't so much of an Alex impression. It was just more of anybody really.
Make a point. Yeah, puppet.
It's all for jokes.
But
in reality, it's true. It's true.
Yeah. Buck should be the bench coach, not the manager.
Yeah, the game's passed.
See, here's one guy that I would like for the job. That's Phil Nevin. But once again, analytical, philosophical standpoints. And once again, the team like that is not changing. People think, the analytics are making baseball better. Well, no, they're not because –
No.
Yeah, I hate to kind of not hate, but the thing is that it's based off fundamentals. That's what a lot and I say this all the time, especially about a couple of certain people on Twitter and Instagram. Most of these people have never picked up a bat and a ball in their life.
Thank you.
They don't know what it's like to hit a ground ball or to do this or do that and whatever.
MLB's not addressing this issue because they think nothing is wrong. Instead of trying to fix the issue with on-field... Okay. I'm going to tie this into a point. On-field play is a disaster right now. It really is. This is the worst I think I've ever seen. I've only been a fan about 10 years or so. About 10 years. Because I was 8 years old at the time. You're not worried about on-field play because they think Manfred thinks there's nothing wrong. So how does he fix on-field play? Not limiting the analytics, not doing it. No, let's add gimmicks like runners on second and 7-inning doubleheaders because that's going to solve the problems, right? So if a guy can only hit home runs and he can't, he can't get on base. He can only hit the home run. How do we solve it? Let's change. Let's add gimmicks to the game like it's WWE. Am I wrong?
Literally, Adam Gase would still have the same effect.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
All he has to do is say yes to the analytics people, and he wins.
Yes.
Ban the
Yes.
fifth.
You want to know what's friggin' funny as
Maybe
hell?
not so much. Let me just say this. I wouldn't say fully ban it. Just keep the guy on shortstop and third base on the left side of the field. Don't have no 4-man outfields. You could keep them within a certain area.
You could
they
do
can
like
move
infields in double play depth. That's,
exactly. Just keep them on the side of the field they belong. If you're a shortstop, I shouldn't see you to the right a second. Then you're not a shortstop, and it shows to me that you have no faith in your second baseman. Just saying, my opinion.
What was I gonna say? With that being, it is funny now. Rob Manfred now wants to say that the 7-inning doubleheaders and the extra inning guy are not going to be long term. Yeah, funny enough, Rob. But the last 2 years you've been looking to experiment.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Pay and many people think this is because those tasks are not working and they're going to try something else in the future, which I hope they don't, but they probably will. Baseball. Everyone said, reason with me. There's a lot of people, especially one person on Twitter, saying that baseball's flourishing right now. Maybe because of Shohei Ohtani, maybe because of a couple other people. I don't think it is. I don't think it's
the product
flourishing.
is bad itself. I mean, look at the ground ball double plays. Look at the strikeouts. I mean, this is what you want. I mean, for God's sakes, you nearly had a scandal about sticky stuff and pitchers.
Yeah, no, there is a scandal about sticky stuff. Not there was, there is, there still is.
And then people are rebuttaling that, or whoever's rebuttaling that with, MLB juice the baseballs. Don't screw with the baseballs. Don't put freaking sticky stuff on there.
They
unless
can't
it's
make up
rosin.
their mind. They either want to juice it or they want to deaden it. They can't make up their mind on what they want to do with the baseball, and it's frustrating. Choose, pick one, and stick with it, please.
And be consistent on your rules.
Please.
When it comes to like
That's
sticky
true.
stuff.
Because that's the other problem. They can't stay consistent with anything, and he puts problems aside until it becomes a serious problem.
Until
That's
he
why
gets repercussions.
I'm truly convinced there's going to be a shutdown next year, or even whenever the CBA is up. I am truly convinced because we're treading down the same path as the last lockdown, because there was the steroid scandals and then all that, and then what happened? Baseball had to go on a lockdown. So I would not be surprised if we're hitting that same point. So if I were a baseball fan, I would be very worried about the state of our sport right now.
All right, yeah, I'm worried too. I want to read this comment that I saw off the Boomer and Geo video. Somebody commented, I don't know if Brian Cashman, and then this is the first sentence I agree with completely. I don't know if Brian Cashman can make enough deals to make this 2021 Yankee team competitive.
I agree.
Do you guys agree with that?
Real quickly, I just do want to outline this comment. Chris D. Big Blue in the Bronx Bros. Will the Yankees make a second half run?
I don't have the confidence.
Right now, we're not trying to be negative Nancy's, but we don't believe in it because of the basic stuff that's being shred wrong with this team. We could change our opinions and we could say that we're wrong and we could eat our crow later on if they do. There'll be buyers at the deadline, but is it going to work for anything? And the problem is that a lot of the and the problem is with a lot of these moves within the last couple of years. I'm talking pitchers, but it could definitely extend to hitters at the deadline. All the pitchers have not worked. Paxton, Gray, Happ, Lynn, Garcia, most of them did not work in the later years, and I think it was Lynn and Garcia went off in free agency and nothing happened. And what? Lynn's an all-star this year.
Right. Sonny Gray picked up right back up where he was in Cincinnati last year. I don't know if he's keeping that up this year.
He's not good this year.
Just to add to the point, though, I'm just saying last year, first year out of New York, what happened?
Second year out of New York.
Second year out of New York, he looked
Sean
like
doesn't know anything, guys.
Yeah, that's what you think.
All right, so to continue with the comment, I think maybe if they do make the deals, they should keep an eye on 2021 and 2022 and beyond. What do they need right now to be competitive in these games against the Red Sox? Remember, we're 0-6 against the Red Sox. How are we going to be competitive?
I don't remember who it was. Earlier in the chat said it best. We got 2 4-game series coming up against them. We got 4 at home starting tomorrow. Then we got Philly for 2. Then we got Boston in Boston for 4. We need to take 8 out of 10 from Boston, and we need to sweep the Phillies. We do.
Yeah, you think that's going to be easy?
No, and I'm not confident this team can do it. I'm really not. We need to beat.
You, man. Another positive comment from the chat. We appreciate you guys.
Yeah,
the great
really
comments.
I mean,
we could probably.
Then you got the Rays right after, as Rob says. That's brutal. That's brutal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. They have a very tough stretch coming up, and this team is 3 games above 500 coming out of the break. For all we know, we could fit. At this rate, I would not be surprised if we finished at 80 and 82. I'm really not at this rate, because again, we need to win these series. Every series. No more losing series. No more splits. No, we need to win every series. I don't care. That's the only way we can get into the playoffs. What other way is there? We're not getting it. There's no expanded playoffs this year.
Mr. Producer, as in Luca. Yeah. As Sean keeps talking, and I interrupted him, I apologize for that. Pull up the standings and the wild card and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. I'll take a look right now. I'm going to pull up their schedule. And we're gonna look.
We're gonna schedule. Luca, pull up the standings because I think those are interesting comparisons in terms of what interchangeables.
I want to first break down the rest of our schedule.
I think that's a good way to do it.
Okay, so coming out of the break, Boston for 4. I already said it. Need to win 3 out of 4. Welcome Philadelphia. Need the revenge. Need to sweep them when Girardi and Gregorius return to New York. It's going to be an emotional day for Yankee fans because we're seeing how losing those 2 have backfired. Then we go to Boston. Need to win 3 out of 4. I don't care. Need to. No splits.
Real quickly, I just do want to assess a comment. Should the Yankees look to part with Chapman, perhaps ship him somewhere else for the betterment of both teams? I said this in my trade deadline video. I said trade Chapman. I don't think it's – and a lot of people – someone actually took the liberty to criticize me on Twitter and say, oh, well, Yankee fans are living in their own bubble thinking they could trade Chapman. I said, nice try, pal, and I pulled up a tweet from earlier that says that the value is not going to be great. So, well, they kind of backfired on him. But my point is this, Chapman's not going to have much of a value, and if he does, trade him to a contender that's going to take the patience, that's going to have patience with him. You could do a record prediction through playoff predictors if you want. We'll just break down the schedule. We're not going to predict because I think the Yankees don't deserve that from us.
So, okay, I'll keep it going. So I mentioned the next 10 games. Then we go to Florida for 6, the secondary home of New Yorkers. They go to Tampa Bay for 3, need to win 2 out of 3. Then they go to Miami for 3. Trap series, I think, again, need to win 2 out of 3. It should be a sweep, really. Because the Marlins
says Johnny Lasagna has closer written all over him. I like that the Yankees fans are getting hyped about him. My only thing is that he provides depth, and I think my personal opinion, and I don't mean to be picky here, the closer position should be like a guy who can go 1 to 2 innings. I think Loaiza goes more of that middle relief, can stretch out a couple innings and extras. I think Albert Abreu should honestly get his shot. My personal opinion.
So once they wrap up the 6-game series in Florida, they come back home for 7. They got 3 against the Orioles, a team we should beat. I know we got a winning record against them this year. This next series, I think is being kind of underrated. The Seattle series, it's 4. The reason I say that is because we just saw the benches clear with them on Thursday.
I don't understand I honestly don't understand what that was about.
I think it had frustration written all over it. I think that's why LeMahieu got upset. So this is a series I think we all need to keep an eye. And I bought tickets for a series. I can't go, but I tell you what, if I miss a fight, I'm going to be really pissed off. All I'm going to say there. I can't go because
let King start. He seemed good against when we played the Mets. I'm going to say no to that because he's kind of like Severino out of the bullpen in 2016. Severino was 0-6 in his first couple of starts, and then they put him in the bullpen, and he was like 3-8 to finish the year or something like that. He was really good out of the bullpen. So King, in my opinion, and Loizaga, those guys could be depth guys in the bullpen, but we need to get a grip on our starting rotation because we can't have Domingo Germán. You know what? I will criticize Domingo Germán for, doing whatever. To make a comment, Chris, I don't mean to diss DJ. I love DJ LeMahieu, but it seems like when he homers, it's every time we lose. But, all the people, like, what was it? Yeah, it was the last game, which I have another point to bring up about that, and I hate to cut Sean off because he's still got to go through the rest of the schedule. But, someone blamed Domingo Germán for the loss against the Astros. I'm like, Chad Green lost the game.
Yeah.
Chad Green lost the game. It wasn't Domingo Germán. Yeah, I think didn't he gave up a big home run or a big hit or something like that? I may have not been looking or whatever. But you know what? So why? Oh, Domingo Germán's a curse. You don't like him. Don't jump on the board on the train when he's doing good. If he does good in a start, I'm not saying I'm on the board or I'm off the board, whatever. But I'm staying consistent with my takes. The next one is I understand. We all have this thing, and we all say it every year, big wins, and the regular season don't count in the playoffs. Well, how are you going to hype for the playoffs? My personal opinion, if you're like 3-9 when you're trying to sweep teams.
Exactly. They can't finish a series to save their life. They really cannot. The only time they could finish a series is when they lost the first two. So, after their short homestand, they go out to the Midwest for a couple days. They go to Kansas City for 3, which again is a team we should beat. We should beat the Royals.
Should.
Then they got the Field of Dreams game against the White Sox, and they return to Chicago for 2. We beat them up earlier in the year, so obviously the White Sox are going to be out for revenge. That's a big series. I think we need at least 2 out of 3 against them. Then we got the Angels for 1. That's a makeup game.
Real quickly, once again, I hate to interrupt.
Let me finish this game. Need to beat them because they embarrassed us. Straight and to the point. Need to beat the Angels. Hurry up. I'm only kidding, dude.
Yeah. Why do I feel like the Field of Dreams game is going to be like the Boston series with just like tons of home runs?
I don't know. Remember, it's technically built like a minor league park. So
I'd have to look at it again, but continue.
Then they got Boston for 2 in New York. Need to sweep. No splits. Need to sweep. Then they got the Twins for 4. Need at least 3 out of 4. The Twins are a team we should beat. We've owned them. We beat them earlier this year. Need to win that series. Then they got a big road trip in Atlanta for 2. Their pitching has been. They can't stay healthy. By the way, Ronald Acuna, praying for you. Hope you get well soon. Can't wait to see you back on the field next year. Need to beat up the Braves because they can't stay healthy. They've had a very rough year. They're honestly, you could kind of say they're in a similar situation to us where they got World Series aspirations and they can't get out of their own way right now. So need to go to Atlanta and win. Then this is another big series at Oakland. The reason I say it's a big series is because Oakland has had our number in Oakland. Just like every year when we go to Oakland, we can't seem to get out of our own way. And this is a 4-game series. So they need to go to Oakland and they need to win 3 out of 4. Then they go to Anaheim for it cuts into September, a 3-game series. Obviously we just saw what they did to us. Need to win at least 2 out of 3 in that series. September now we're in. Home against Baltimore. Already went over that. Need 2 out of 3. Toronto for 4. Big series. We got to stay above them in third. Before we can talk about second, first, which I don't think is happening. Needs to take 3 out of 4 from Toronto. Then we come home. Home away from home. Citi Field, big weekend, Subway Series. You know the drill. 3-game series, need to win. Again, it's your home away from home, so if you need an advantage, there's your advantage.
And there's an emotional reason to take that series as well, though.
Exactly. It's a series to represent the pride of New York and even just America for that weekend. That's actually almost a primetime game, 7:40, that game on 9/11. Then they go to Baltimore for 3. You know, I've stated my point with them. Cleveland, home for 3. We've proven we could beat them in Cleveland. Now let's prove we can beat them in New York. No 19-5 like the last time, but we don't talk about that. Then we welcome Texas for 3. You know the drill. The Rangers are the Rangers. They're no better than a high A baseball team, but the reason they got recognition was for having fans. Big road trip at Boston for 3. Need to beat them if they
hopes we get tickets to the Subway Series.
I like to go, but again, tickets are very expensive. So,
and the Yankees suck.
Go to Boston, then we go. Assuming they're still in Buffalo, we go to our other home away from home in upstate New York. Need to beat the Blue Jays. That's a 3-game set. And the last series of the year, in my opinion, maybe the biggest series of the year. If we are contending for second place in the division, it's home against the Rays for 3. So, again, series they need to win. Well, yada, yada, yada. You got the point. So, it's not an easy stretch, this second half of the year.
Especially
to start. If they cannot get a good start, you know, they say in racing, it doesn't matter how you start, it matters how you finish. Well, the way the Yankees have started, now it matters. Because, again, they're 3 games above 500. And we're past the halfway, we're past halfway, we're past the All-Star break. They can't, UT said it best, it's panic time. I don't care. You can get your hopes up all you want right now. It's panic time. The Yankees have every reason to be panicking because when you're talking about World Series, this is not the state you should be in. You should not be in this state right now.
So you essentially can't lose the series. No, we cannot lose the series.
No,
we have to be on our game 100%. And real quickly before Luca takes his take or whatever, the Yankees are going to look like total clowns if they lose the Boston series, they lose the Phillies series, and then they decide to trade for somebody.
Yeah. And just to lose to Boston the series after. So we cannot, we can't lose these big series, especially, like I said, the Red Sox. You're 0-6 against them right now. Oh, but they started 1-5 against them in 2000. Shut up. Stop bringing up the past.
Stop bringing up 2009. Precedents don't matter. I don't care. You can literally say, let's just say the Giants last year, for heaven's sake. The Colts, they started at 1-5 in 2018. I don't care about precedents. It's about the now. It's about a different team, different manager, different freaking philosophy. Stop giving me precedents. Stop giving me past stuff that happened. And now produce. Stop defending them.
The trends don't work. Oh, the last time the Steelers started 8-0, they won this, or what, like 7-0, they won the Super Bowl. I don't care because look how the Steelers ended last year. I don't care about the
Yankees because he's a Jets fan. So
their trend is just staying bad.
Yeah, their trend is bad. But I was going to say the Yankees are going to, if we're talking realistically, they're going to lose some series. But you got to win the important ones.
And you know what, Alex? We said it best. I think it was 2 weeks ago because we didn't have an official stream. Well, not sure. We had a stream last week, but it wasn't sports related.
Right.
If you can't beat your rivals, you can't succeed.
Right.
Basic as that. If we can't beat the Red Sox, we can't beat the Rays, if we can't beat the Mets, forget it. I don't, it doesn't even matter if we do win the World Series. Because in the end, the Mets would have the bragging rights if they swept us or even just won the series in September. It doesn't matter if the Red Sox go undefeated against us. The Red Sox will hear it from them. It doesn't matter if the Rays whoop us.
What would we learn?
What would we learn? And again, even if we win the World Series, you have that in your ear. So do you especially, here in New York, you don't want to win the World Series and be like, oh, but you still got the people cross town. Oh, but we still beat you guys, so that means we're better. Wait till you play us, blah, 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 blah. You got to beat your rivals.
And Sean, you're a big proponent of this. Obviously, the Yankees procrastinated with all this winning, right? What was it a few years ago? The Indians or the Blue Jays? Which one of them? I think it was the Indians. 20-game win streak. What'd that do for them in the postseason?
Absolutely nothing.
It's the important games that matter. I don't care if the Yankees go on a 20 game. That's kind of the precedent. Rob says World Series over everything. That
Yeah, I agree with it. I'm just saying, it hurts the morale if you can't beat your rivals, especially like the Mets and Red Sox. I know the Mets ain't like important to our schedule, but even if they just, at least win the series, get some motivation, be the talk of the town.
Right.
So
I was going to continue with the comment I was reading. So as continued, this guy said they really, really need a lefty bat that they can bring off the bench in a tight game against Adam Ottavino, someone who is better than Rune Ador, who, yes, can hit a homer but swings and misses a ton. Adam Frazier of the Pirates would be a huge addition. Jock Peterson doesn't hit for a high average either, but he's a bat you have to respect. If he comes, you know what? We should bring up Jock Peterson after I finish the comment because the Cubs are planning to sell. What, Alex?
The wife of Steelers quarterback Dwayne Haskins has been charged with domestic battery after an incident in Las Vegas.
Oh, boy.
And here come the off-field problems I don't want to deal with.
Anyway, Jock Peterson doesn't hit for average, but he's a bat you have to respect if he comes up in a one-run game in the eighth. Also, another very good piece for the bullpen because that would help right now. Chad Green and Johnny Lasagna are the only two pitchers that they trust out there. Maybe Sessa as well. Lidke, Wilson, and Chapman you cannot trust. Hopefully they get back Britton soon. Also from Cashman, I'm calling the A's and saying I will throw in $23 million a year to make Giancarlo Stanton a $6 million per year player. You're getting nothing out of your designated hitter spot. Giancarlo, yes, he gets hurt, but he can also carry your team at times. Now this is where I disagree with the guy a lot. Give us Mitch Moreland, and we'll get a deal done.
Mitch Moreland.
If I was home, I'd be throwing things.
You are home though.
Original home, but regardless, the other thing I don't like about that, how can you trust Green? He's imploded a few times this year. I mean, yeah, he's had his amazing moments, but there are times where we just saw last Sunday he completely imploded.
Doesn't make a lot of sense.
How can you
TD, to answer your question, his wife was arrested on battery charges, domestic battery or battery charges relating to something in Las Vegas. That's not the only thing. Richard Sherman. I mean, I'm not going to discuss it, but that was just shocking.
Yeah. Well, Donald Greca kind of said it best. You hear the allegations, but you got to remember, too, take it with a grain of salt. It might not even live up to its title. It might not have even been serious. We don't know. So we really cannot. You can't really say until everything comes out, which ain't going to be for a while. So I think that's going to hurt Sherman's chances of signing with anybody.
Yep.
I was going to add in Jock Peterson's stats. So he's hitting .230. You're not going to like that, obviously. 11 home runs, 39 RBIs. Does he have the clutch factor?
Peterson has a tendency to think he hit a home run only to fly out. I don't know if anybody's seen that. He's done that a few times. He'll stand there like he just hit a home run only to find out it got caught at the wall.
I liked Peterson when he was with the Dodgers and when he was an all-star. .230 batting average, 74 strikeouts to 22 walks, and he's grounded into 5 double plays.
No thank you.
Yes, where are you getting the stats from?
I am getting the stats from baseballreference.com. And his ground ball rate is 36%, but that's not the most of his career. He tends to hit the ball to center field a lot. He also has a decent pull percentage, but I'm not sold on Jock Peterson coming to the Yankees. I know that the Cubs are going to be selling. You know what? I'm going to ask TD a question. TD, do you want Chris Bryant? Yes or no? Or any Mets fan in this chat?
As I said about Gallo, quantity over quality.
Mm-hmm.
Yankee fans not doing the research, just basing it off the analytics and what all these morons want to say. Quantity over quality, and then you're going to blame Cashman for acquiring him. Yeah, you could blame him, but excuse me. When do we start blaming the players? Now, I know a lot of people, obviously, even Hal Steinberg says to the players, why are we blaming the players and when do we start? Because a lot of people are, I mean, Cashman, once again, definitely has his faults in this team and in construction. How, and I brought this up 2 weeks ago about the Brantley thing and about, I think it was Michael Brantley and Kyle Schwarber. I would not have touched Kyle Schwarber with a 10-foot pole a couple of months ago if you would ask me if the Yankees should have got him. Personal opinion, because I thought he was just a home run or bust hitter. Was he even in the All-Star game? He was, right?
Yeah, but he got hurt, I think, remember?
Okay. So that kind of made ends meet. But anyway, Michael Brantley was Yankee fans were commenting a couple weeks ago. Oh, we should have got Kyle Schwarber and Michael Brantley. Okay, you're saying that now. But realistically, a couple of months back, if they would have signed one of them, and if they would have worked or not, you would have said, why didn't we give Clint Frazier a shot? Which is what I believed in. TD says, I'll be honest, I'd be interested for the right price for Bryant, but I would certainly not break the bank for him. I think he's a solid player, but not someone I'd give up solid prospects for it. That honestly might be something they would, because if it's Chris Bryant, I think they would try to get prospects for.
Yeah, because the Cubs are going to be rebuilding. They're trying to sell off everybody. You never know. Rizzo's going to be gone by the end of the year. Javier Baez might be traded. Chris Bryant might be traded. Kyle also another name that Joe Librarian brought up on Instagram, or whoever brought up Instagram, is Kyle Hendricks. And he has a 3.83 ERA. I'm sorry, I don't want him.
Nah.
We're not trying to lower the standards as we're trying to get more pitching and hitting. Sorry, not happening.
I just don't understand. Pulling random rabbits out of your ass, friggin'. It's, I don't know. I guess and once again, I hate to be negative, but a lot of people are just creating their own fantasy right now, and then when that fantasy gets ruined, they will blame the players. But meanwhile, they were in this fantasy, starting to realize it once again. TD says, let's put it this way. I wouldn't cry if we got him. Like I said, really good player, but obviously I don't know his season stats off the top of my head. I don't watch too much Cubs baseball. You probably got to refer to Cop Pizzle for that, but he recently tweeted about the All-Star game yesterday that Chris Bryant does not get big hits. So,
all right, I'm going to provide you with the stats, okay? Chris Bryant this year is actually hitting 271.
Clint Frazier's engaged.
Congratulations to him.
Congrats.
Okay, Chris Bryant, 271 hitter, 16 home runs, 46 RBIs. That's solid stats right off the bat. 78 strikeouts to 33 walks. He's grounded to 6 double plays. On-base percentage of .353. His ground ball rate is 39.7%, which is its highest peak. I don't know how the Mets. I don't know how the Mets do with grounding into double plays. I don't know if they struggle. TD would have to provide me with some insight. I don't watch the Mets. Chris Bryant is another good center fielder hitter. He hits 50%. He hits 56% of balls into center field, 14.5% in the opposite field, and pull percentage is 29.4%, and he has a fly ball ratio of 29%. So I think he looks like as a solid pickup for the Mets, if I have to be quite honest.
Once again, he says he's not breaking the bank for him, and I think that's what the Cubs would honestly ask for.
Right.
But, Mr. Yawn over here, Yawn Caro.
Are we going to end off the discussion here? Do we have any final?
Not necessarily. Did we go into who they could sell other than Gleyber Torres?
They're not selling, so I don't even know if it's really worth it.
Well, I mean, just saying.
I mean, Gleyber Torres. If
selling
you get
okay. Let me revitalize.
I already told you what I think about Gleyber because, like I said, Gleyber's just going to be another.
Put Gleyber off to the side, though. Guys, like if you're buying or selling, whatever you're going to sell, like if you're buying, who would they give up? Divey, this, that, the other thing. You're
going to have to.
Do you think they would give up Florial? Though? I think they lost all faith in Florial, in my opinion.
I wouldn't go that far just yet.
Do you think that? I'm just saying. Do you think they are?
Not yet. I give it time. I think it all depends on how Hicks plays out whenever he decides to come back.
That's a disgrace of a contract.
Yeah.
Him and Severino.
Yeah.
I mean, fine that he's a role player getting $10 million a year, but on that length.
He's turning into Ellsbury.
I mean, Sean loves the
He's
amount.
got 7 years on his contract.
I mean, Sean he just loves the amount of 10-year contracts coming out in the major leagues. He just loves
I've already stated my opinion on it. If anybody wants to know what that is, again, all these big contracts is going to lead to even more of a decline in play because we've already seen that happen before. For example, Chris Davis of the Orioles.
Oh,
0.7.
How is still in the
that
league is questionable.
53-year home run, that 53 home run year was the worst thing for him.
Yeah.
And now the Orioles are in a rebuild because of it.
Yeah, they're still in a deep rebuild. Some teams are showing progress. If you look at the rebuilding teams, like Detroit's starting to make progress.
Marlins.
Marlins are. Kansas City was at the start. Now they're starting to fall apart, and they're talking about being sellers now. So I don't know what's going on with the Royals, but Orioles still are not making any sort of progress. TD says, is there a website that tells you who is tied to Mets and Yanks?
When it comes to deadline, it's like these reports that come out. Buster Olney, John Heyman, John Morosi,
Passan,
Joel Sherman.
Those are the different and incredible sources. So it's like New
York
York Post, MLB Network.
You'd probably have to look it up on like a computer or something, like maybe Trevor Story, Chris Bryant, Mets, something like that. Because obviously, as you said, you don't have Twitter, Instagram. So you'd probably have to look it up just on the internet. I don't know, Chris Bryant, Mets.
ESPN, like I know, has a good spot for possible trade rumors. I think they still have it. Hang on, I'll take a look. I know ESPN's usually got a spot for trade rumors on their MLB page. Let me take a look.
Once again, just as a clarification, as usual, guys, you don't have to just be a part of the baseball conversation. We'll be talking about football in a little bit. If you want to ask questions about football, basketball, Luke will be getting into that stuff. We still got some ways to go in the show. So thank you guys for sticking around.
Okay, I see.
And to end off, try to close out the discussion about baseball and the trade deadline. I don't really see any pieces the Yankees can sell off when in terms of selling. But
it's either a committal or it's either a committal on one side or the other. If you're selling pieces and you're actually wanting to go into some sort of a rebuild, you would have to try to sell Cole and Staten. That's not easy.
They're not selling Cole. I can tell you that. Even if they do sell, they are not selling Cole. They put a lot of money into him. Staten, maybe. But Cole, not happening. I can tell you that right now, even if they do sell. Which, by the way, TD, I do not see the trade rumors spot anymore. That's a few years old. I'm sure there's spots somewhere where you can look into trade rumors.
TD, to answer your second question, we are changing the day of the stream next week. It's probably going to be closer to the weekend. We'll let you guys know.
It's either going to be Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. We'll tell you that much.
We're probably going to be talking about it within the next day or two or whenever. Because there's a good chance we might be actually hanging out tomorrow, three of us.
Yeah.
No,
we are. Not a good chance we are.
Okay, yuppie. I saw a rumor Judge is someone the Yankees could sell. I can't see him in another jersey, but it's interesting.
I don't see the Yankees selling him.
They're not selling him. I've seen that a lot. If you're going to sell your number one piece, then you might as well completely blow it up and go with an Orioles-style rebuild.
Or Pittsburgh.
That's just no.
In terms of hype, we were talking about earlier. The DJ LeMahieu resurgence bandwagon says the Yankees are going to go on a 15-game winning streak and win 50 of their next 70.
I would love to see that, but it's not going to happen.
Sean's face. Oh, man.
Talk about bipolar.
Talk about hot takes. That'd be one of them.
You know what? I don't want to be negative, but I have to bookmark this because that's receipts. It's called receipts. You got to keep your receipts.
All right.
Who's ready for some foosball?
Football.
Oh, I was going to do... All right, never mind.
You going to do what?
Take a look. How many days are we... How much further do we got till the Steeler-Cowboy game?
60 or 59? Excuse me. Minus 3 from that, though.
That's 57, but that's Cowboys-Bucks. I'm talking Steelers-Cowboys.
Oh.
Preseason. Yeah, push it. What do you want? Schedule pushback? If you do that, I might have to come over there and hit.
No. All right, hold on. Steelers versus Cowboys. By the way, as I added about my Pro Football Hall of Fame experience, the stadium is nice.
TD put in something. Alex, I'll let you compare that because you know the Giants better than I do.
Let me days till August 5th. August 5th. That's 22 days. Holy shit. Okay. TD says, I'm obviously no GM, but if it were me, I start the rebuild now before it's too late with NYG, like with Eli Manning, if that made sense. I'm going to say I feel like this is sort of different, but I get your philosophy. They definitely should have, my opinion, taken a quarterback that year, but we are talking in a situation now where they're possibly a winning team. So I'm not going to come out here and say, oh, well, they did this. Not like the Twitter geeks. I'm not that guy. But I'm going to say the right decision a couple years ago, take a quarterback. Now you're not regretting anything. You're just hoping that Daniel Jones flourishes in his third year with weapons and a better offense. But I do see the philosophy there. But if it's, once again, I know you said you're no GM or anything, but if you were in that position, if I were in that position, it's one committal to the next. You keep winning, you keep spending on free agents, you keep doing this, that, and the other thing, or you just rebuild and blow up the system.
I don't think we're ever going to see the Yankees tank ever.
No, I'm not saying tank, but I don't think
tank will rebuild. I don't think we'll ever see something to that extent.
In my personal opinion, no, I understand, TD. In my personal opinion, I think, follow me on this one, I think the Yankees are going to have a point of denial and say, oh, we're not, we're always a winning team. We're not going to be rebuilding. I think that compares to your sort of thing. I meant like the Yankees should rebuild now. In my personal, it's not their year.
They're living in denial because they still think they can win the World Series. I'm sorry, they just do. I mean, you can't, if you run the front office, I would hope you're still thinking World Series, but that panic button needs to be setting in their heads, and it's not. At least it doesn't seem like it.
Luca, you want to quickly pull up the wild card and all that stuff?
All right, so let me pull it up.
Because that will basically end our baseball conversation.
So right off the top of my head, the Yankees are 4.5 games out of the wild card.
Share your screen if you can.
Yeah, once I pull up the standings. Sorry, I got the standings, so I'm going to share my screen. I have a lot of tabs open, not going to lie.
Okay.
It's because I'm preparing for my basketball discussion.
Okay.
All right. We got baseball standings right here as thing proceeds to load. We are in 4th place. We are sitting 8 games outside of the Red Sox and 4.5 from the wild card. We are sitting tied with the Blue Jays. Now the teams we have to go over. We have to go over the Blue Jays. We have to go over the Mariners, and the Tampa Bay Rays and Oakland Athletics hold the wild card spots.
Remember, there's no expanded playoffs.
Yeah, the Yankees got away with that last year. They really did.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So that's that.
Interesting. But let's go into our football topic, which is very beef, as Luca says, but it's very brief. I'm going to write the kind of the thumbnail real quickly, and then we'll get into the discussion.
I'm just looking real quick to officially wrap up baseball. I'm looking at what's going on in the minors. Currently, the Rail Riders at 39-20 lead the Worcester Red Sox 1-0 in Game 2 of their doubleheader. They won earlier 4-3. Devi Garcia actually got the win. I believe that's Devi Garcia. In Double-A, Somerset and Richmond are tied at 6 in the bottom of the 10th. In High A, Hudson Valley fell to Wilmington 7-0. Hudson Valley still remains at 40-21. I forgot to mention Somerset is 39-21. In Low A, the Tarpons had a doubleheader. at Steinbrenner Field. They lost game 1 3-1. And in game 2, they won 6-1. Lakeland's home game was actually in Tampa. I guess they didn't want to travel back and forth. So now the Tampa Tarpons sit at 42-19, all of which have better winning percentages than a certain team right now. Cough, the Yankees.
Okay, so something I didn't know, and obviously, once again, I barely want to touch on this subject. Apparently, a police dog was needed to subdue Richard Sherman.
Oh.
That can't be. I heard that there was like a hit and run possibly tied into it. So
yeah, that's a part of the investigation.
Also to note before we head into the other topics, Dan Clark says the Yankees do not need another guy who hits 200 with some pop. The weakness of this team is the one-dimensional nature. Why continue down the path? Hashtag Gallo. Certainly agree with that. All right, so who's ready for some NFL? We got about 22 days till the Hall of Fame game. Been to the stadium. Well, not inside the stadium, but I've been outside the stadium. It's a very cool stadium. Also, my time in Cleveland. Also, my time
that ties into the Hall of Fame game. Coach Cowher made a request that with him and former defensive coordinator Dick LeBeau get to call one more blitz play for the Steelers, as he is sent into the Hall of Fame. And I hope that's true. I honestly wouldn't even mind if they let Cowher coach the game, but obviously that's not going to happen. Other news is Troy Polamalu is finally going to make his return to Heinz Field after retiring. Him and the Steelers are on bad terms, so now that he's going into the Hall of Fame, he is going to be at Heinz Field to be honored opening Sunday against the rival Raiders.
What's up with him and the Steelers on bad terms?
There was there's speculation that he wasn't going to the stadium because they said Pittsburgh forced him in their time. Because if you remember, at the tail end of his career, he could not stay healthy. He was getting injured every week. He could not stay on the field. So there's rumors that Pittsburgh forced him to retire. So I guess any bad feelings must be out the door now.
What was I going to say? I guess you could sort of compare that to Derek Jeter's last contract. Because apparently he's got a big beef with the Yankees, and he really he just holds that disgust to this day. That's apparently what I heard. I'm not going to throw any rumors out there. These are years old rumors. So
yeah.
Can I address the Marcus May stuff?
Yeah.
So it was announced, I think today. No, it was actually yesterday. It was announced yesterday. Ian Rappaport made the tweet that the Jets and Marcus May are at an impasse when they're talking about a long contract or an extended contract, more of a contract extension, because Marcus May is on the franchise tag. Right now, that's not necessary, Alex. That's old as hell. Anyways, Marcus May is getting 10 or $10.5 million this year from the franchise tag. And the Jets, their offer, I believe, was 20% lower than that. So you're thinking $8 million, $8.5 million what the Jets were offering. Now, this could be leaked by his agent to Ian Rappaport, but it seems that Marcus May will not sign a contract extension or a long-term deal before the deadline is up. And I think it is a bad move by the Jets.
And what was I going to say? Okay, so they're basically lowballing him.
Yeah, they're lowballing him. That's exactly what they're doing.
Jamal Adams style.
Alex, that situation is not comparable. Keep quiet over there. Says the overhyped team of 2021.
Overhyped. Yeah, Luca's biggest thing, everybody. Whenever we talk smash to each other, just in the house or something like that, when it's Giants Jets, he's basically telling me that the Giants are the most overrated team coming into the 2021
they literally are.
season. Yeah, okay, Luca.
I'm not gonna say overhyped or not until I see how good Daniel Jones is. If Jones is a bum, then I'm just gonna laugh in Alex's face all year.
And I'm gonna tackle you. What was I gonna say? With that being said, I'm gonna let Luca, then Sean, then me, in terms of 3 teams you're not buying into. Chat, feel free to come on into the subject. 3 teams that you feel are being hyped, or maybe other people are hyping, but you're not buying into them. Luca, Sean, and then me.
Okay.
All right. I'm going first, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So first off, I'm going with the Arizona Cardinals. They're just an average team. They're overrated. Their secondary's cooked, and that's pretty much that. Their defense is okay. Their offensive line is questionable. That's pretty much that. I really have nothing much to say, but they're overrated. To me, they're your average team.
Nah, you have two more teams.
Number 2, let me think about this. I'm going to say Miami. I'm going to say the Miami Dolphins. Yes, they have a good roster and whatever, but Tua is a huge question mark. And I don't think that's being said enough. I don't think the Eagles are even overrated. Not even rated.
The only people overrating the Eagles are Eagle fans. I mean,
yeah, exactly. So,
yeah, but TD is allowed his opinion, of course. Luca,
team number 3. I got to really think. I'm going to say Dallas. Dallas, definitely.
Why?
Yeah, I agree.
Dak coming back is a huge question mark. Their secondary is kind of in a shambles. Yes, they have a good offense now, but how can Mike McCarthy do? Is he going to adjust? Is he going to make those adjustments? Is he going to be the same as last year? Because I'm not convinced he's changing. Not convinced.
Real quickly before Sean goes on, me and Luca are both at fault for this. We both wanted him as a head coach for our teams.
Yeah, and I kept saying he was good, so we all fell for that one.
We know we're wrong, I guess. Sean.
All right, so my 3 teams. Obviously, we could share teams, right? Or do we all have to pick different?
We share teams.
Okay, well, obviously, number 1, we all agree, is Arizona. I just think they're past their prime, can't stay healthy. Most of them guys. I don't think they'll be bad. I just don't think they're just going to be – where do I have them at? I got them at 10-7. I don't see them being a team that's going to light up the league like a Kansas City Chiefs or Buffalo Bills. I ain't really buying into them. Team number 2, Dallas. We don't know what Dak's going to be coming back. Their defense is a joke. Bless you. So
sorry, I was going to mute my mic, but go on, Sean.
Mike McCarthy, how can you have faith in him after?
He looks like a bullfrog.
Exactly. Team number 3. Y'all are gonna. I don't know. You might agree with me. You might not agree with me. I've said it before. I'll say it again. Cleveland, and I'll explain why. Okay, hear me out before anybody comes after. I already mentioned the Pittsburgh game. I think the Steelers beat themselves. And remember, the week prior, they barely got past our backups to advance to the postseason. Okay? They struggled. I shouldn't say they struggled, but OBJ, it feels like held them back when he was playing. So when he went down, they seemed to play better. I don't know how that could work. When maybe it's coaching, whatever. Maybe it's just a curse. I don't know. But that's it. It's those two. Those are 2 reasons. The other reason, they struggled to beat Chad Henne at quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs. So you're meaning to tell me that a almost full strength Browns team could not beat the Jets last year, which we can't forget about that.
Luca loves that.
Struggled to beat the resting Steelers and could not beat Chad Henne is a good team. I'm not buying it. I mean, I think they'll be okay. I got them at 10-7, but I don't see them as a threat like everybody's saying they will be. Just because the Browns have a good record again, that's cool and all, but I'm still not buying into the hype. I'm really not. And they got to prove to me that they are a new age Browns team that can take down the 3 teams of the North, and I don't think they're the team to do it. So those are my 3 teams.
To go through some comments real quick, TD says Saints, Cardinals, and Ravens. Cardinals, obviously, we're all on board with. Ravens is an interesting one. Please clarify.
And New Orleans Saints, I could see, because a lot of people are hyping Jameis Winston, and they're saying that he's going to emerge. We'll see what happens. We play them week 4 in New Orleans or Nolans or whatever the hell they say it like.
I'm going to answer AJ's question when we're done, too, because I like his question.
AJ Marshall says, which NFL teams who didn't make the playoffs last year will go? He says Giants, Dolphins, and Chargers. And then TD says he disagrees with Cleveland and he doesn't buy into the Steelers.
Okay, I think that's fair. Oh, wait, we got to let Alex go. Okay.
Thank you. So number 1's going to be the Cardinals for me. I mean, that's kind of obvious. I don't really believe in them. You know, I don't think it's a question whether Kyler Murray is the franchise QB or not. I mean, I'm not a Cardinals fan. People are hyping AJ Green. Why? I mean, doesn't make a lot of sense there. Past his prime, who could never stay on the field, even when he was in his prime. Let's be honest. You look at that defense. I mean, the offense got better last year, but it's going to be proven time and time again that quarterbacks who come out of the pocket a lot, that scramble, they get sacked more, they get pressured more because you run out of the pocket. That's like no surprise to anyone. What was I going to say? Defense, not really that good. You know, their linebackers, just the total defense and all, I really don't believe in. Buda Baker is their bright spot. Isaiah Simmons got better as the season went forward. J.J. Watt, you know, people are hyping him. I'm like, why are you hyping him? Once again, past his prime. It's sad what happened with him in Houston, but you know what? No, he can't stay on the field. Sorry. Real quickly, I do want to get to TD's comment. I just think the Ravens are way too overrated. Not a fan of Lamar as a QB. I think adding Villanueva and Zeitler was good, but you still have no amazing receivers. Jobbins is okay. You traded away a star in Orlando Brown Jr. I definitely will agree with you in some of those standpoints. I won't put the Ravens as a top team that I think are overrated or I'm not buying into. Zeitler and Villanueva, good pickups, obviously. I don't know how they're going to do that because you might place Villanueva on the right side, I guess. Zeitler will be the right guard.
Great last year, so we got to see what how he does in Baltimore.
Pat McCarry will probably be the center if that's his name, and then I think they have another guy on the left side. But you are absolutely correct on the receivers part. They are legitimately built around the run game, and a lot of teams, you know, they're trying to find ways to stop them. And once they stop them and once everyone figures out what they're going to do, it's going to be nobody's secret. It's not going to be their secret, whatever. They're going to find it out. They can't have anything else because the receivers, Marquise Brown, hasn't been anything special. Devin Duvernay, Miles Boykin, our buddy out of Notre Dame. They just drafted Rashad Bateman. I don't think Lamar don't pass deep passes. That's Daniel Jones. That's not Lamar Jackson. He runs. Sorry, but that's just the way it is. That's the way he's perceived. That's the way we see him. We don't care to the popular opinion. But I definitely see your point about the wide receivers. I think that is a good point. Number 2, can anyone guess?
The Titans.
Yes, sir. I think the Titans are a little overhyped. Well, obviously knowing my opinion of them this whole offseason. Offense, yeah, it looks good. You know, you got Julio Jones in that trade, Derrick Henry in the backfield, A.J. Brown, Ryan Tannehill, a decent quarterback. I don't know what their line looks like. I would have to go back and take a look. I think they improved from 2019 to 2020. To add to that, their defense. I do not have any confidence in the defense. They have a new coordinator this year, which I believe is one of their linebacker coaches. Vrabel called the plays last year. He lost 3 corners and replaced them with Janoris Jenkins. So that obviously has to tell you something. Not a fan. You know, we could go ahead and I was having a freaking argument with a Giants fan about Kenny Galladay and a lot of these it was about Kenny Galladay and also the division, how we stack up in March. I was talking about that. And basically the one guy's like, well, you know, it doesn't matter because Dallas is going to be better even if they don't have a defense because their offense is going to outscore. I'm like, that doesn't make a lot of sense. That's not going to happen because it's mostly defensive. If you don't have a defense, you can't be competitive. That's just honestly, in my personal opinion, where that comes from.
That depends too. You know, you could, if your offense can survive the shootouts and keep up. It's not impossible to have a good record and a good team with no defense. We've seen it before, but it depends how It depends on it. Kind of just depends on how everything falls with that offense and how good they can be with Julio.
Yeah, and teams, we'll see what happens with Derrick Henry and all of them. The Ravens don't play the Titans again this year. They don't, right?
I'll take a look right now.
Please do, because that would be an interesting matchup. Being what happened last year.
Do not.
That's unfortunate. We'll see if they
play the Steelers.
Okay, so we'll see what happens if they make the playoffs, which I don't think they will. My personal thing with that is, other than defense stuff like that, the whole AFC, I think it's going to be now. How many seeds are there? 6 or 7?
7.
Okay, there's 7 seeds. So unfortunately, when I signed into my playoff predictor, I decided not to save, but obviously it's saved on my other laptop, so I think that's always fine. But let's point out some teams that are probably going to make the playoffs. My personal opinion, the Browns, the Bills, the Patriots, the Ravens, the Colts, my opinion. And then you look at the West, the Chiefs, and maybe the Chargers, my personal opinion. So I think those teams are better than the Titans. Number 3. I might have to agree with TD, but also I have to go with another team. Now, I don't know if anyone's buying into this certain team, which is a tie for the other team, but I think one team will be better than the other team. My one pick is the Raiders. My one pick is the Steelers. Here's why I will choose the Raiders slightly. I don't know who's hyping them, if there's anyone that is hyping them.
Raiders fans.
Raider fans, exactly. Their defense, they don't have any coaching there. They lost 3 offensive line pieces. They decided to not upgrade the offensive line, decided to sign Kenyon Drake. Doesn't make a lot of sense, but, you can't run with no O-line. I mean, that's just like common sense, common football, but a lot of these coaches, I guess, that come back to the game after a hiatus, they're not good. I mean, Mike McCarthy and John Gruden, very good examples. And John Gruden was out of the league 10-plus years and broadcasting Monday Night Football. But that's the team I don't believe in. Steelers, good defense. Thing about their offense is that I'm really concerned about that O-line. I think they should have addressed it earlier. I like the Najee Harris pick in terms of an offensive standpoint because I know they needed that running game going. But I'm concerned about that O-line. And once again, they have nice weapons. I think Deontay Johnson needs to be consistent as Luca tries fixing the camera, doing something like that. But with that being said, I just think that the offensive line is not going to be a great help. And Big Ben, he's getting older.
Well, and the problem with the O-line is they're young and they're not the star caliber linemen that we had. Like, we don't have a Marquise Pouncey anymore. We don't have a DeCastro. I mean, they got that guy. What's his name? Try Turner or something.
Yeah.
I mean, he's okay. My expectation for the O-line is they'll be all right against bad teams. It's when they face a good defense, like let's say, for example, I don't know, let me look at their schedule.
Browns,
Ravens. Browns, Ravens. So I wouldn't with the O-line. That's why I said my concern is more of when they play a good defense, I guess you would say. So I agree with you 1,000% that the O-line could be a problem. So I don't disagree with you on that. Like I said, I think if the O-line produces, I think Pittsburgh could. I wouldn't say a sleeper pick for a Super Bowl. That's not. I'm trying to be as realistic as possible, but I think they could surprise with the run game and not overusing Ben's power. Ben's arm. I truly believe how the offense performs all depends on the O-line. So I agree. Like I said, I agree with you 1,000% that the O-line is a worry, and trust me when I say I am worried about that. So it's kind of a wait and see for me as to how they're going to look. But I don't think they'll be as bad as everybody said. Like, there's people saying we're going to be 4-13.
No.
not going to be that bad. And my floor for them, I have them at 11-6 this year. My floor for them would be like a 9-8 or a 10, 10-7 at worst. I don't know if I maybe 8-9, but I don't think I'll stretch it that far. But I don't think we're going like 2-15, 3. What these people are talking about. They're just idiots.
Real quickly before we bounce into our basketball topic to end off the show, T says, in a way, I feel the Bengals are somewhat underrated if they add lineman to help Burrow. I think it's an up-and-coming team, but they need a guy like DeCastro, and I actually feel good about them. Yes and no for me. I think it needs to be if they can help him on the O-line, and I think if Zach Taylor can be a good coach.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He's on the hot seat.
All I'm going to say is I still think they're a ways to go before they can be contending for our division.
They should have picked Sewell, by the way, not Chase.
Problem is with our division, you need an offensive line to be good. As we mentioned before, you got the Steelers defense, which you could arguably say is one of the best in the league. You got the Ravens, who are right there with a good defense, and you got the Browns. So that's the problem for Cincinnati. If they don't have an O-line, and you can say the same for Pittsburgh, if we don't got an O-line, how can you succeed? How can you succeed in our division? You can't. It's physically impossible.
All right, so with that, we will bounce into the final set of topics for tonight. A pretty long stream. Luca, I'm going to give it to you. Collin, Sexton to the Knicks, possibly, and NBA final talk.
All right, so as I'm watching the NBA finals, is 90-88 Phoenix Suns. We are about 6 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter, as Jay Crowder just got fouled by PJ Tucker on a 3-point shot. Now we start with the Collin Sexton rumors. Now, this is a legitimate rumor. It was reported by Shams Charania, who's like Woj. He's the top 2 sources in the NBA. So I'm going to share my screen. This was tweeted out yesterday. The Knicks are the most aggressive trade suitor for shooting guard, point guard Collin Sexton from the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, he is one of the most, I feel, underrated players in all of the NBA. He is also one of the most controversial, but he's a very good player. He's a walking bucket. So last season, he played 60 games, averaged 24.3 points a game, 4.4 assists, and total rebounds was 3.1. He also shot a very efficient 47% from the field and 37% from downtown, while shooting at a free throw percentage of 81.5. The biggest problem that surrounds Collin Sexton is a few things. First of all, he's a walking bucket. We all know that, as seen by his percentages. One of his bigger concerns is he the Knicks' future point guard? He is as I mentioned, he is a shooting guard point guard. His primary position is shooting guard, but he can also run the one. His main point guard in Cleveland was Darius Garland, who was his backcourt teammate. And Garland is probably going to be staying there long term rather than Sexton. So the biggest concern surrounding Sexton with his play is his playmaking, for him to be a floor general, facilitator. Last year, he averaged 4.4 assists, which is the highest of his career. And that means he could be only getting better. Sometimes, and there was a report that came out that said his teammates were frustrated that Collin Sexton was ball dominant and he would not pass to teammates. But in my opinion, passing goes beyond the assists. You could pass a whole lot in the game, but the teammates of yours cannot be making shots. We look at the roster of the Cleveland Cavaliers last season. They didn't have a lot of good players. You got Larry Nance Jr., not a great shooter. Jared Allen, who doesn't shoot the ball. Andre Drummond eventually bought out. Chetty Osman, he comes off the bench. They freaking played Yogi Ferrell 27 games. They don't have a great roster, and they didn't really necessarily build around Collin Sexton and Darius Garland too well. That's the main concern with Sexton. Can he pass the ball? Do we believe he can become better as a teammate? Does he lack shot creation? Does he lack consistent defense? That's also a concern, considering that the Knicks are a very great defensive team, and Tom Thibodeau is their head coach. Can Thibodeau turn around Collin Sexton, make him a better passer? We all know he's not going to average 24 points a game on the Knicks. There are going to be 3 players that need the ball if he comes. RJ Barrett's going to need the ball to get better. Julius Randle's going to need the ball to get better. Sexton's going to need the ball to get better. They're all 3 young players. And it seems as though that Sexton is going to be playing for a max extension because this is the final year of his rookie contract. Now, another concern was, why are they shipping out Sexton opposed to Garland? Are they going to be drafting a Jalen Green? Why are they just want to ship out Sexton? Is he a locker room cancer? I don't think he is. It's just a lack of passing pisses off teammates. But I have a point to bring up about that. He is one of those players that you describe it. He's one of the, let me rephrase. He's one of those players that puts up good stats, star stats on a bad team. Alex
empty
knows
stats.
what that's what they call empty stats. Alex knows
OBJ.
about OBJ, but he's not as a cancer as OBJ. Don't worry. But I honestly find that narrative kind of stupid. Not gonna lie, because just right now I'm watching Devin Booker as he plays for the Suns. The Suns were a once crappy team, but Devin Booker was putting up all-star numbers. They used to say the same thing about him, and look at him now. He's in the finals with Chris Booker. Wow,
Chris Booker. Chris Booker.
I'm sorry. Anyway, he's in the finals with Chris Paul. Look at him. He's still averaging around 24. He's a scoring machine, but he can do other things. And one of the bigger concerns with Sexton is, if he's having an off shooting night, is he going to force the issue and still shoot, try to, put on his scoring game, trying to redeem himself, or is he going to try to play defense, add the other aspects to his game? Because, as I said, the only thing he can really do good is score, maybe assist. But the thing is, when he has those off shooting nights, can he create for his teammates? Can he play defense? Can he do the little things that make him a better teammate? I think he can. He's only going to get better as a player. He's only 22 years old. He hasn't even started his prime yet. That comes at age 26. But I honestly believe that Sexton could be the solution to the Knicks at point guard, even though he's a combo guard, shooting guard, whatever. And add to that, since the Knicks are the most aggressive shooter, and they're talking with the Cavaliers, a source says a package that would include Obi Toppin, Kevin Knox, and one of New York's 2021 first rounders appears to be an option after reaching out to Sexton, or at least reaching out for Collin Sexton. What do you guys think of trading Obi Toppin?
We just got him. I don't know if I'd trade him right away.
See, I'm not like, we can all agree that Luca's the biggest basketball fan here. See, I don't know that I'd give up on him right away, especially when you're in a rebuild. But I don't know. What do you say?
To me, I get where you guys are coming from. There's plenty of Knicks fans who have that kind of approach where you don't want to give up on hopefully one of your pieces. But I believe Obi Toppin will reach his potential elsewhere. He's not going to be, a scoring champion or whatever, an all-star behind Julius Randle. Remember, if the Knicks are going to keep Julius Randle, what's the point of keeping Obi Toppin and delaying his potential? Why not trade him to
bench guys, though?
I agree with you, but you can always add a veteran. It's not like you drafted Obi Toppin in the late first round or second round. It's not like he was an undrafted free agent. He's just a role player. You're expecting this guy to be an NBA ready prospect. And hopefully, to me, he can do that elsewhere. He showed some promise in the playoffs, but again, I like Obi Toppin a lot. It's not a diss on him as a player. I'm just talking about where he's going to flourish best as him as a player. Kevin Knox's name's been in trade rumors, need a fresh start elsewhere. I agree with that as well. He's going to be coming off the bench if he gets traded to Cleveland.
Michael B says answer AJ's question, by the way, about NFL teams not making the playoffs. That didn't make the playoffs that would make it this year.
I definitely would go with I would definitely go with the Giants, the Chargers, and the Dolphins just to start.
I have Giants, Niners, and Chargers.
Interesting. Now, Michael B says that dude, known as Collin Sexton, plays no D.
Oh, my
He's
God.
not a floor general. I'm good off of him. I think he means that he's good. I don't want to trade for him. And I don't want to me, I'm in the middle, like Clutch B-Ball TV. I'm in the middle with him. I'm not overhyping him, but I'm not freaking hating him, saying that he's going to be the worst thing for this team. And I believe he can grow as a player, as I've said how many times before. If he gets coached by Tibbs, they're going to get along very well. I mean, Sexton has a ways to go defensively, as I said, but they're both dogs. They're both competitors. They're going to fight. Collin Sexton wants to tear you up on the floor. He wants your team fucking dead. He wants to absolutely kill your team. He put up 40. Ask TD. He put up 42 points on the Big 3 debut. Ask TD. That did happen. The bigger the game for Sexton,
I remember it.
the bigger the game for Sexton, the better he plays. That's what I believe. And in regards to Kevin Knox, he does need a fresh start elsewhere. He didn't do himself any favors. We didn't do himself any favors. So I think he's going to, if the Knicks were to trade him to, say, Cleveland, he's probably going to be coming off the bench because Isaac Okoro would likely start at small forward because Cleveland would probably have to draft somebody like Jalen Green or Jalen Suggs to play the 2-guard spot. And in regards to a Collin Sexton trade, I'm going to pull up something that I just saw. Cleveland, in fact, reportedly would like a solid veteran in a Sexton package, which would put the Knicks at a disadvantage versus the Pacers, Heat, Pelicans, Lakers. We don't have, as Sean and everybody else, every Knicks fan has hinted to, we don't have a lot of, older players. I mean, you look at our starting lineup. Two of our starting positions are going to be kind of vacant. Reggie Bullock's going to be a free agent. Alfred Payton's going to be a free agent. Look at the bench. Derrick Rose, our backup point guard, free agent. Emmanuel Quickley is our shooting guard, but he's obviously going to be in his second year. Small forward, Alec Burks, free agent. Center, Nerlens Noel, backup, free agent. Taj Gibson, free agent. We don't have a lot to offer in terms of the veteran department. So, and then it's also should be noted that Obi Toppin, buried behind Julius Randle, and Sexton have the same creative arts agency rep in Austin Brown. Why do the Cavs want him gone, though, is the question. He must be a problem. That's the biggest concern when I have in terms of that. Maybe it's just the passing. I hope he's not like a real locker room cancer where he thinks so highly of himself. But whatever. No, Sexton is not going to the Nets. They have enough players. They can't even have him on the cap because he's due for an extension next season. Anyway, yeah, the Knicks are CAA heavy. Anyway, Avery Johnson, former head coach of Collin Sexton in Alabama, Avery Johnson also coached the Brooklyn Nets, the New Jersey Nets at the time before they moved to Brooklyn, says maybe a change of scenery will be better for him. Johnson told the Post in a phone interview, I'd be thrilled if he has an opportunity to play for the Knicks. I love the direction of the organization, coaching staff, front office, making the playoffs last year with really good young pieces. If that were to happen, it would be welcome. I can't speak for him, but as his former coach, I would be excited for that opportunity. And in terms of that, the only thing you can do in terms of trading a veteran would probably have to be sign and trading somebody. If you sign and trade an Alec Burks, if you sign and trade a Alfred Payton, God forbid they get him. I don't think they will. I hope Cleveland's not that stupid to get him. But it's gonna be a sign and trade with the veterans. It's gonna have to be. Or the Knicks can offer to take up Taurean Prince or Kevin Love's contract. Now, Kevin Love, who is 32 years old, will be earning a total of $59 million over the next 2 seasons. That is a big fucking contract for a past his prime player. And I'm not willing to take that contract. You also have small forward Taurean Prince, who is earning $13 million next season. Now, taking up his contract, I think you still have money for free agents. Now we go on to the next Knicks rumor. That is that the Knicks are showing interest in sharpshooter Duncan Robinson. Now, Duncan Robinson was drafted by the Miami Heat in 2018. He is known as one of the best NBA sharpshooters, probably top 5.
This season, he put up a total of 13.1 points per game, 41% from downtown, and shot 43% from the field. I think he would be a great addition, but it said he would command about $18 to $20 million on the market. Now, can the Knicks pay that? Sure, they have enough cap, but I do think that's overvaluing him a little bit. Miami will be in a crunch, though, as they might want to retain some of their free agents like Victor Oladipo and others like Kendrick Nunn, and obviously, as I mentioned, Duncan Robinson. Now, I think the best contract for him would be around 15 to 16 million per year. Yes, he is one of the best sharpshooters, but he also struggles on defense, and maybe he gets better on defense. You never know. But hey, I like the idea of Duncan Robinson. It's just, will Miami let him go? And I'm not so certain they will. And on to a little more important things. So Kawhi Leonard, it was reported yesterday by ESPN that he had surgery to repair partial tear of his right ACL. Now, what that means for his free agency, we don't know, because he still has yet to decline his player option if he wants to leave LA. So that's going to be very interesting. There's no timetable for his return, so that point puts his free agency at an impasse, and it's going to be very interesting to see where that comes from. Next, it is reported that Wizard star Bradley Beal has entered Team USA camp's health and safety protocols, placing his return to play status up in the air. Now, I don't know who is the best replacement in terms of that, but if I had to be honest, I think I saw on Twitter that people like bring in Julius Randle, bring in Darius Garland, bring in Carmelo Anthony. We'll see where that goes. And to finally cap this subject off, it looks like Milwaukee will win Game 4. They're up 103-99 with 27 seconds remaining. And to recap, yesterday the United States men's basketball team beat Argentina 108-80 with Kevin Durant being the leading scorer, 17 points on 6 of 9 from the field, 3 of 5 from downtown. I don't know who they will face next. U.S. men's basketball. I gotta look up this. All right. U.S. men's basketball. Here we go. Let's look up the Olympic schedule. It's just so hard to look up. I don't know why. July 16th. No, they will face Australia in a exhibition game, who they previously lost to. They lost to Australia, and they also lost to Nigeria. So it's going to be interesting. Pave way for U.S. men's basketball. Any comments, questions, concerns?
Michael said this.
I would love Kyle Lowry. I would love Kyle Lowry too. If you get him on a 2-year, $50 million contract, I am cool with that.
I think he said he wants Kevin Love too, or at least he said he would love Kyle Lowry. I don't know what he's trying to go for.
Well, if you're just talking about Kyle Lowry, I think he's someone you should absolutely sign in free agency, but there are going to be plenty of bidders out there. The Miami Heat, definitely a suitor. LA Lakers, definitely a suitor. Philadelphia 76ers, definitely be a suitor. But it's really going to be tough to Kyle Lowry probably wants to win a championship now, even though he already has, but it's getting late in his career. And I think he wants to be on a true contender like Philadelphia, and I think they would overpay for him. But yeah, any questions about basketball?
Well,
Nope.
Not really. Obviously, Luca doing. TD says Suns in 6. What do you guys think? I agree.
Yeah, Suns in 6 as Milwaukee looks like they're going to win this game.
Luca, I'll go to you for final comments. Sean, then myself to close it out.
I think it was a very successful stream. We got to meet new people. We got to have a lot of fun, comments, different stuff like that. Football, I like the giveaways. Hopefully next week.
I literally just forgot something, and we could do it quickly.
What?
We never did the Darnold giveaway.
We could say that for next week.
Yeah, let's just do that.
All right. So final thoughts. It looks like the Milwaukee Bucks will win Game 4, and this series will be sent back to Phoenix, which will be Game 5. fun discussion again. Again, met plenty of new people, but can't wait for weekends, late weekends, whatever, with this podcast. Now, hopefully we meet new people. Hopefully the weekends and schedule change opens up for more viewers to come on. To answer your question, TD, I'm looking to do a Yankee game in the future, possibly. I would like to do that, personally, my opinion. But we'll see. Hopefully the Yankees change their ways, but I still would like to do at least one before the season's end, whatever. Sean?
Oh, it was a good stream. Happy we got to break the Yankees down again because they can't get out of their own way, so we got to rant on them every week. It was good talking football. Like Alex said, we're a little over 3 weeks away from preseason game number 1. So there is that. All in all, it was just I'm happy with the way the stream went. First stream in the new house, so I'm all good. It was a good stream today.
I'd like to also note that Sham Sharania said that if Sexton was to be traded, it would be on draft day. Okay.
TD, to answer your question, yes, the Yankees play the Red Sox primetime baseball. Only team playing tomorrow.
All right, so pretty fun stream. One of our biggest streams ever, in my opinion, because we did a huge giveaway, 2 giveaways, 1 giveaway, but split into 2. With that being said, I appreciate everyone who participated. You will be getting something. Appreciate the people who were in the chat, being here for the first time, whether not being here for the first time, the usual guys, Evan, Potato, TD, a lot of the other people as well. We appreciate you guys every week. We'll let you guys know on topics. Well, not topics, but like when we're going to switch the day, what day it's going to be. Most likely, once again, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That works for us. Obviously still bringing you the same brand of content. With that being said, guys, if you haven't already, like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on that notification button so you get notified when a live stream pops, video drops. More content coming out throughout the week. I don't think I'll have anything tomorrow unless I wake up really early, which it's possible if I don't have writer's block. But with that being said, guys, have a good night. Thank you for participating. Thank you for being a part of this as usual. We'll see you later.
See ya.